Make sure Progressive's one of them and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be, but traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where BetterHelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of BetterHelp Online Therapy. When Alana and I started BetterHelp in 2013, our mission was simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. BetterHelp works around your schedule and lifestyle. You can connect to a therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You don't even have to turn on your camera if you don't feel comfortable. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime with the click of a button, because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/wellbeing and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wellbeing for 10% off your first month.
This is Dale Hellestray from my friends at Constructors Bonding. If you need bonds, you can put your trust in Arizona's industry leader for the best service, rates, terms, and capacity anywhere. Constructors Bonding is the #1 writer with 14 sureties and will improve your bond program. Call Dave McKee today to learn how Constructors Bonding will perform for you. 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929, or visit cbialliance.com.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K24EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome to a Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender. Yes, Fourth Dimension, your national nightmare, almost done. Jeffrey O'Brien returns tomorrow, still on vacation. My name is Randy White. That over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. You are texting in on the text line at 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live from Uptown Scottsdale, from the Harmon Solar Studios, the megaplex of the Harmon Solar Megaplex in beautiful Uptown Scottsdale. Lots to talk about today. Before we get to it, boy, it was a real miracle last night. The Diamondbacks won. We'll get to that in a minute. Keon, how was your evening? Did you have a good evening?
I did have a good evening. I watched the Nationals absurdly beat the Dodgers a second time yesterday. That was pretty fun. I had a pretty good evening yesterday. Had to go to bed early because I had to fill in on the morning show this morning. But
no kidding.
Yeah. Little fender bender there with Izzy yesterday. So
is he okay? Is Izzy all right?
Izzy's good. Though I have bad tire luck. Like, bad things always happen to the tires on my car. It doesn't matter what I do. I can get alignments. I can rotate the tires till the cows come home. It doesn't matter. I will always find the one nail in the road. I think Izzy just has bad car luck.
Wow.
Just I don't know when that happened, but it's
nothing major, right? He's okay. Izzy's good.
Izzy's
golden.
Good.
All right.
He's good.
Yeah, I hate to tell you this, but your Nationals, the mighty run against the Dodger Blue is ending.
I was hoping you were going to let me just kind of skate pie on mentioning yesterday.
7-1 right now.
Not mentioning today. Yes, 6 runs in the first inning. So it was just over before the game even started. I wish that they would mercy rule it so I didn't have to sit there and watch another 3 innings before I realized what was going on.
Chicago White Sox are beating Colorado 5-3. The Dodgers are But I mean, you took 2 of 3 from the Dodgers.
Not bad in their house.
Yeah,
in their house
in Los Angeles. Oakland currently putting it on Houston 4-2 is the score there. Diamondbacks have a 4-2 lead over the San Francisco Giants, which I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised about the Diamondbacks. The Giants are not playing good ball. And last night was no different. Anything that could go wrong for the San Francisco Giants is going wrong right now. This is just one of those things. The Snakes making it 2 in a row. It could be a 3-game sweep if everything stays the way it is. But did you see Carlos Rodon? He came in. He had a bad outing. And he came into the dugout, and there was a bat sitting there. You know how sometimes these guys don't like to put their bats in the bat rack. You know, these major league ballparks have these state-of-the-art bat racks and places to put stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Carlos Rodon, he found the bat that's leaning up against the bench. If you see it on Twitter, if you go on the San Francisco Giants on NBCS Twitter page, you can see it. I don't have it on my page because I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. Jeffrey and Keon, they can do that kind of thing, but I don't know how to do this stuff. Otherwise, I would have put it on mine with big, laughing faces. But apparently, Thairo Estrada was just minding his own business when Rodon walked in, and he kicked the bat and hit his teammate Estrada right in the leg.
Looks like he hit him right in the shin too.
At first, I thought he hit him in the cha-cha-bongos.
Well, the way he dropped, that was
he went down like a bag of rocks.
I think upon further review, he got hit in the shin, which is only slightly better.
Yeah, I looked at that a handful of times. And later after the game, Rodon says, I'm glad he's okay. Felt terrible about that. Look, it was stupid. It was just stupid, not thinking. It was a dumb thing to do. Take it easy. Gosh, Carlos, somebody put him on suicide watch. You kicked a bat. You made a mistake. Okay. Don't cry about it. Jeez.
I'm a big reading body language guy. It's kind of corny, but when I see a team that doesn't look like they're playing their best ball, I'm trying to find reasons why. I'm trying to understand what's going on. I look at the body language in that dugout. It's terrible. There's a bunch of slumped shoulders.
Oh, yeah.
And some of that's just human nature, but man, someone's got to fire up the troops there.
Well, it was doubly bad for Estrada after he got plunked with the bat from his pitcher, who threw a temper tantrum. He went up to the plate and immediately got plunked by the Diamondbacks. I mean, talk about, can I just go back to the hotel?
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I think I would tell the manager, can you do something about this? Let me go home.
Yeah, he just took one right in the ribs, when he went up to the plate. Jeez. and Estrada must be thinking, what the hell did I do?
It's like, do I have to apologize to God? What happened?
But then Rodon went out there and did you see the catch that he made? This miraculous catch that he made, which is typical. It was like a goalie kick save. The ball came back to him. Again, I don't have it on my Twitterverse. Maybe if you talk to him nice, maybe he'll put it on his. But
during the break, I'll see if I can.
6th inning, McNamara, McCarthy, what the hell's his name? The kid for the Diamondbacks, who knows? Jake McCarthy. He hits a comebacker at the mound there. Rodon hits his foot, bounces up, goes right into his glove. At first, Rodon thought, where'd the ball go? Then he realized, hey, there's something in my glove, and he threw McCarthy out. It was like I'm gonna play it. You'll hear it. But it was kind of magic. It was kind of like some sort of sorcery happening here. I mean, it hit his foot and went right up into his glove. Here's the replay. And McCarthy hits it, bang, right off his foot, goes right in his glove. He's like, oh, look what I found. Merry Christmas. Over to first. Let's end the inning. Yeah. So there you go. Wow. Diamondbacks win last night, 7-3. And they're winning right now, by the way. Diamondbacks are winning.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's a jinx because, like you said, the Giants just aren't playing that well.
Not the Nationals. Nationals are not winning.
No, the Nationals are not winning. They are what's the opposite of not winning? Oh yeah, losing. Yeah, they're doing that, and they're doing it a lot.
Diamondbacks are winning though. Nationals are not.
Yeah,
7-1.
I didn't need the reminder.
End of the 8th now. 7-1. I think your Nationals are coming up to the plate. So is Soto. He's going to go to the Cardinals, don't you think? And I mean the St. Louis Cardinals. It seems like everybody is John about the St. Louis Cardinals and Juan Soto.
It seems like a good fit. You know, it's a baseball town. That's a fan base. Those people appreciate, you know, good baseball and good ball players. And Juan Soto's a fundamentally sound guy. It just seems like a really good fit with the Cardinals. Right. And as a fan of baseball and of Juan Soto, I'd love to see him go there so I can still root for him and like him. He can't go to the Dodgers. I will not like him if he goes there.
Well, it looks like, I mean, by everything that I've been reading lately, and who am I? I'm no expert by any means. But it looks like St. Louis is going to bolster their lineup. St. Louis needs a stopper, though. They need a guy to come out there. They've got, I think they have the most complete team in the National League right now. Yeah, okay, all you Dodger fans, I hear you. But if you look at it, the Cardinals are scary. I'm telling you, man. If they get Soto and they pick up another arm, some sort of a stopper that can come into games, this team could be dangerous, especially when they get the hell out of Canada. So Arenado and Goldschmidt can play again.
The thing that I've noticed is with the Soto thing is how much it's like the Kevin Durant situation, where everybody knows the guy's moving, but it's a matter of when. And the team that has him is asking for so much. Like the Dodgers called the Nationals on the phone, and Mike Rizzo said, "I want your top 6 prospects." I mean, no one's doing that. I mean, I'm sorry. Like, I don't care how good you think Juan Soto is. You know, you're going to have to also pay him. No one's giving you the top 6 prospects. It's just not happening. So until that asking price comes down, I don't know where Soto's going.
Well, I would imagine the Dodgers will try to get him, although I can't imagine they're going to be able to do that. Maybe they will.
It's like give your top 6 prospects and Gavin Lux. Like what are you talking about, guys?
Dodgers need more than Soto in the outfield. I mean, they need pitching. They need pitching help. They need to replace Kershaw. Kershaw's having a down year. They need somebody that's going to come in the playoffs and help this team move along. Kershaw's not that guy. Not this year. He was dominant up to this year, and I think it's that time in his career.
Yeah, it might be possible that we may not see dominant Clayton Kershaw 5-6 years ago anymore. That's
Washington is threatening. They got 2 runners on in the top of the 9th, 7-1 Dodgers still though.
Yeah, I've
first and second.
I've given up on that game. I have the
top
extra,
of the 9th, first and second.
I had Washington. The game on in the extra innings. I turned it off. I'm okay.
It's 5-2 now, Diamondbacks. End of 7. All right, 888-368-1580. Let's get to the text line because I know there's many people with lots of things to say because this is the most interactive show on the radio. It's a daily blender, and we move forward because you, the fourth dimension, my friends, you are the show. And first up today, Thunder Snow, Randy and Keon. It's Whiskey Wednesday. Can I get a Jameson Black Barrel, please? There you go. Did you hear it?
Mm-hmm.
There you go. There you go, Thunder Snow. Jameson for you. Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. How about them Diamond? Oh, my God. Here we go.
The thing with Big George that I'm learning as I spend time on this fine radio broadcast is the Big George, when the chips are down, everybody's going to get fired. I didn't realize how much of an optimist Big George is when things are going well.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I have that.
Not even a week ago. Big George was on this text line. I can look it back.
It wasn't that long ago.
Not even a week ago.
Lavello.
Lavello. Yeah. I'll get rid of all of them.
Clean house. training
Randy.
staff, everybody.
Hello, gentlemen. Happy Wednesday. How about the Diamondbacks, Randy? They're only 6.5 games out of a playoff spot, and they could pull within 5.5 with a win today. Randy, I'm looking forward to when you come out here to Carlsbad to make me a steak dinner when the Diamondbacks make the playoffs this year. You know what, Big George? You keep wishing. You keep hoping.
Here's my thing. He said they're only 6.5 games back, as though that is a small margin of games with what that schedule looks like in the future. They may not win 6 games in the next couple of weeks.
Robert in Surprise has joined us. Hey, Robert in Surprise. The only team that can afford Juan Soto is the Dodgers, Mets, and Yankees. I beg to differ. I understand why you're saying that. Yes, I get what you're saying, Robert in Surprise.
And I don't know that that's true. And the reason why is because you got to understand where the Nationals are coming from. They're cheap. I think Mike Rizzo is a fantastic general manager, and he makes things work. And he can convince them to spend the money if he thinks they're close to a World Series. That's how he got them to spend the money on Scherzer. That's how he got them to spend the money on Corbin. They'll spend the money if they think they're close. But if they don't think they're close, and we all know they're not, I mean, look at them right now. They're getting murdered by the Dodgers. If they think they're close, they'll spend the money. But if not, they're not spending anything. So they want your prospects, is what I'm trying to say here. And everybody with a good farm system has a chance at Juan Soto.
Well, and some of the news that I've understood is maybe the Nationals are going to try do a twofer. They're going to try to not only trade Juan Soto, they're also going to try to unload Pat Corbin. If Pat Corbin goes in this package to the Cardinals, that might be the arm they need down the stretch in the playoffs. You know, a long reliever, a short reliever, a spot start here and there. Pat Corbin's career is not what it used to be. He's not the guy he was when he went to the Nationals from the Diamondbacks when he was doing so well with the Diamondbacks. But he might be that arm down the stretch, especially in a pennant race. He might get all amped up. You never know. This might be the trade that the Cardinals need to put them over the top.
It's possible. I don't know how much to trust Corbin. He hasn't played very well this year. I'm not even going to look at his record right now. The dude has no run support. So that record doesn't tell the whole story.
I mean, it was like Robbie Ray from Arizona, you know, and then we let him go in the offseason. Don't get anything for him. Goes to the Blue Jays. And what happens? He wins a damn Cy Young. That's what happens.
Deservedly so.
888-368-1580. D-backs on fire. I think Big George is onto something. Print up the Diamondbacks playoff shirts. It's a lock, says Jag Dog.
I guess that's a very sarcastic lock.
Easy.
Yeah.
Mars Bars, happy Whiskey Wednesday, guys. How about them A's and D-backs? I'll take an 805, please. And thank you, Raiders. All right, we got lots to talk about. Diamondbacks in action today. We'll keep you up to date on what's going on. It's currently 7th inning. I think Snakes right now are winning. Last night's game was fun because of Rodon. I feel bad for him, but that's, you know, when a team is going bad like the Giants are, that's what happens. So in basketball news, before we go to break, I just want to kind of open this one up for conversation. I think it's going to be funny. Draymond Green came out today, says that, with 2 years remaining on his deal, he wants to land a max contract extension. Draymond Green, he's got 2 years left on his deal, and he wants a max contract extension. It says here, Green eligible to sign a 4-year deal on August 3rd, set to be paid $25.8 million and $27.6 million over the next 2 seasons. And then after that, the max contract, whatever that would be, would take off. Is Draymond Green, is he worthy of a max contract?
No. No, not at this stage in his career. One of the jokes with Draymond is that he has triple singles.
Triple singles.
He does a lot out there. He'll get 9 rebounds. He'll get 5 steals, but also score 7 points. And he's important to what the Warriors do. And I do think that this is actually going to be a little bit of a litmus test to see what kind of organization the Warriors are. Because some organizations are ruthless. The moment that you don't put up the productivity and don't put up the numbers, think the Patriots, it doesn't matter what you've done in the past. Once you can't do that anymore, you can get out of town. And if you want a max deal, good luck. Find it somewhere else. Or are the Warriors an organization that goes, you know what? You were so important to us in the past. We take care of our guys. We'll overpay you because of what you've done, rather than, what we think you're capable of. Because I don't think that Draymond Green is getting any better. He is going to be the guy he is right now, where he is the glue guy. He holds a team together. He can be your point center. He can bring the ball up the floor and play as a big. He's still a quality defensive player. I just don't know how many years of that level of Draymond we have left. And if you pay that dude a max deal, that contract is going to age like milk. It's just not going to be well over the life of the deal. So I'm interested in seeing what the Warriors do. Are we going to take care of our guy? Or are we going to tell him, hey, thanks for all the things you've done before, but if you ask for that kind of money, you can kick rocks.
Yes. In the infamous words of Creed, here's to all you've done. All right. When we come back, we'll continue to talk about this. We'll see if the Nationals can somehow eke out a win in Los Angeles. Chavez Rabin, the game's going on right now. Is it final yet?
It's not final, but I have doubts.
So there's still a chance?
I mean, no, never mind. It's final.
It's final now. What's the final score there? The Natties win? Did they win?
No, they did not. They lost 7-1. 6 of those runs they gave up in the first inning, and we don't have to talk about it.
All right.
We don't have to talk about it.
Keon, obviously angry about the Nationals, but whatever. It's Daily Blender, 1580, 99.3 The Fanatic. Jeez.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Houston ace Justin Verlander is the major league leader with 13 wins this season. He's followed by Atlanta's Kyle Wright, who has 12. Dodgers ace Tony Gonsolin and Toronto pitcher Alek Manoah both tied with 11. Verlander's a plus 275 bet to win the American League Cy Young. Shane McClanahan, the favorite at plus 155. The Tampa Hurler has 10 wins this season and leads the league with a 1.71 ERA. Miami's Sandy Alcantara, the favorite in the National League at minus 130, followed by Milwaukee's Corbin Burns at plus 550. Gonsolin a plus $1,200 bet to win the National League Cy Young, followed by Atlanta's Max Fried and San Diego's Joe Musgrove at plus 1,400. Red Hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. I'm Chuck Sanders on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
I'll second guest dinners with friends because they can be interrupted by diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or oily stools. It turns out I have EPI, or exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, which means I'm missing the enzymes needed to digest food. My doctor prescribed Creon, pancrelipase, an oral prescription medication that replaces pancreatic digestive enzymes. Creon treats EPI due to cystic fibrosis, chronic pancreatitis, pancreatectomy, or other conditions.
Creon may increase your chance of fibrosing colonopathy, a rare bowel disorder. Tell your doctor if you have a history of intestinal blockage or scarring or thickening of your bowel wall, if you're allergic to pork, or if you have gout, kidney problems, or worsening of painful swollen joints. Call your doctor if you have any unusual or severe gastrointestinal symptoms or allergic reactions. Take Creon as directed by your doctor and always with food. Do not chew capsules, as this may cause mouth irritation. Other side effects may include blood sugar changes, gas, dizziness, sore throat, and cough. These are not all the side effects of Creon.
Creon is the #1 prescribed EPI treatment. Ask your doctor about Creon for EPI and visit creoninfo.com or call 800-633-9110 to learn more. That's CREON info.com.
With our newest unlimited plan, everyone's welcome. Introducing Welcome Unlimited from Verizon for just $30 a line per month for 4 lines with autopay plus taxes and fees. Our best priced unlimited plan ever.
Did he say $30?
Yep, $30 a line for the whole family. The network you want, the price you love. Switch to Verizon today. Paper-free billing required. Unlimited 5G nationwide 4G LTE. In times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. All smartphone lines on the account must be on Welcome Unlimited and are eligible only for select promotions. Includes domestic talk, text, and data usage only. Data roaming at 2G speeds.
Did you book the Townsend's 10th anniversary ticket?
Alona's travel agency is overbooked and experiencing delays. She needs to land a new project manager to clear her business's runways.
Yes, Mrs. O'Hara, we checked. Pygmy goats do not count as emotional support animals.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Earn up to $500 in sponsored job credits by interviewing on Indeed. Visit Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
It's a game of intimidation, a game of power, a game of strength, speed, and violence.
Plus, they have these little guys called kickers. We are your gridiron connection to the NFL. With the live games you want and the pigskin news, scores, and talk you need. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Arizona's home for the NFL.
Daily Blender for a Whiskey Wednesday here on 1580 99.3 The Fanatic. Don't forget, Swave Dave, he's qualified. Looking for text of the day at 888-368-1580 during the show today, because if you win and your text is selected as text of the week by our impartial panel of judges who returns tomorrow, you can win a $100 gift certificate to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, which we're giving away this week. It's the part of the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse Christmas in July campaign they have going on, where if you go into the restaurant, you can buy your own $100 gift certificate. And when you do, you buy the $100 gift card, and they'll give you a $20 gift card as a bonus. So you get $20 and a gift card back when you buy a $100 gift card. So there you go. And Kasai, what a great way to go. I mean, if you win the $100 gift card from us, you have a nice evening. 888-368-1580. Text of the day is what we're looking for. And it will span for all three. Swave Dave won yesterday. He had some limerick or something yesterday. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, it was a very funny rhyme by Swave Dave.
But anyway, that's our story. We're sticking to it. Look, Jeffrey's gone on vacation, and he tasks us with these things. So he kind of gets what he gets when he gets back. And we're not, Keon and I, we're not that creative when it comes to giveaways. Anyway, 888-368-1580. Big George, Patrick Corbin currently 4-13 with a 6.49 ERA. Yeah, he's not getting any run support, but that's an awful ERA as well. Well, it is. But Big George, the mentality changes when you go to a contender.
And also you play with some leads. There are risks you don't have to take as a pitcher if you've got a lead. How many games have the Nationals played this year where they've had a lead and Patrick Corbin was on the mound? I promise you, because I watched a lot of them, not many.
If Corbin were playing for the Yankees, I think it would be different. If Corbin were playing for the Dodgers or the Mets, I think it would be different. Corbin's playing for the Nationals, and he understands the situation it is. And right now, the Nationals they're in the crapper. They don't score any runs for him. Heavy Metal Maniac. Sorry, Keon, what'd you say?
I was just gonna say, if it's not Juan Soto or Josh Bell, these guys aren't hitting the ball.
Yeah. Heavy Metal Maniacs on the text line says, thanks to you guys, I'm going out to have dinner tonight and using my $100 gift card thanks to 1580 The Fanatic. Well, there you go. Heavy Metal Maniacs is going out to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse and have himself, he's tying on the feed bag with that $100 gift card.
I saw some of the steaks that they have over there at Kasai. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make my way over there at some point.
So Draymond Green he wants a max extension. He thinks he's deserving a maximum extension that would lock him in for $164.2 million over the next 5 seasons. Now, keep in mind that the defending world champion, basketball world champions, also have that Clay guy who's making 40-something million a year, I think. They also have that other cat. What's his name? Andrew Wiggins. They have him.
And Jordan Poole, they're going to have to take care of him because he was a big part of the championship run. So my question on the table for the fourth dimension and for Keon is Draymond Green worth $164.2 million, or does he wait his 2 years and test out free agency?
I think the team should let him test free agency.
Really? You think they should let him go after the run that they've had with him?
Well, because let's see what his contract looks like here. I don't know if it's. Let's see. He's a free agent in 24. Is Draymond Green going to command a max deal on the open market? I don't think so. Not at 33 years old, which is what he'd be when that contract is up, or 34. At 34-year-old Draymond Green, when he's not stuffing the stat sheet like he used to already, I don't know that you go ahead and pay him a max, because I don't know anyone that would pay him a max. I think a lot of teams would pay him a lot of money, but I don't think you give Draymond Green a max contract.
I think Golden State's got to find a way to pay Thompson. They got to find a way to pay Wiggins and Poole. Steph's already locked up for a bit, but I don't know that Draymond Green is yes, although he is an integral part of the success of the Golden State Warriors. I think he's the least likely to have to be locked up.
I think so too, especially with what they've done drafting players. James Wiseman, we haven't seen a ton of him. I thought he looked pretty good in summer league, coming back from his injury. If James Wiseman plays basketball the way that they thought he was when they drafted him, and a couple of these other guys that they drafted, including Jonathan Kuminga, who would play that Draymond role if they develop him the way that they want to. If Kuminga can give them that, well, he's $5 million a year because he's still on his rookie deal. At that point, why am I paying Draymond a max? And it's not because Draymond hasn't earned it by what he's done in the past, but I don't see high-level Draymond play around the corner, especially 2 years from now. So I think it's smart of Draymond to try and make this push for a max now, because this is the best argument that he's going to have for it. It's not going to be next year when he gets a little bit older and it's a little bit slower. It's not going to be the year after. This is his best chance, but I just don't think the team should do it.
Boomer Sooner says, good day, Randy. Good day, Keon. The day, Blender Nation. Randy, could I get an ice cold beer and a shot of your best bourbon, please? Diamondbacks are on the verge of completing that sweep. Could be a data celebrate. Who knows? Football's getting closer. Getting excited, Boomer Sooner. All one run-on sentence. No stops there at all. One complete sentence. Good day, Randy. Good day, Keon, the Daily Blender Nation. Holy cow.
I wonder if he actually breathed when he
bourbon
sent the text.
Here's another one that just pops in. Sorry about the text, Randy. I've got this new phone, and that voice to text doesn't work any better than the previous one, obviously. Again, no punctuation. No periods, no commas. I think that's the way I should read everything from now on, when it has no punctuation.
Just read it as one.
Just really get a, tank up on air, like sometimes you have to do on some of those commercials. You get those clients that they want to fit everything about their business into like 30 seconds. And you just got to really tank up, Good day, Randy. Good to get he's going to be a nation. He's going to get the guys cold beer. Get your best birds because the diamond next time the birds king. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
just going to go through the whole thing just as fast as you can.
Yeah, it just sounds like you're reading the legal lining in a spot. You just got to speed that up a little bit.
King of Kittens. Hey, Randy. Probably just a smidgen more than 10 of an inch this afternoon, and amazingly humid 82 degrees outside. Beers all around for the third dimension. Well, probably the fourth dimension, but thanks, King of Kittens. Good afternoon to you. Kyle G. Draymond needs some better friends that can reel him back to reality. Dude's more likely to get cut by the Warriors than get a max now that they have new young centers that are also tall. Yeah, that's what Keon was saying. That kid, is it Wiseman?
James Wiseman, yeah.
That kid is he's for real.
I like him. He's really impressive. I thought he struggled his first year in the league before he got hurt. And the injuries kept him out, and I feel bad for him on that front. But I was watching the summer league because I watched the summer league. Leave me alone. And he looked really good. Look, I'll watch basketball anywhere. If it's not clear from the fact that I watch the WNBA, I will watch anybody play basketball. Okay. I like the game. I love the sport. I'll always watch basketball. Summer league. Yeah. I watched it all. Leave me alone.
Nothing wrong with that, man. There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a beautiful game.
Double D says Kyler is the best quarterback in the NFL. Oh, wait. No, he isn't. Patrick. He is the best quarterback in the NFL. Oh, wait. No, he isn't. Tom. Okay, he's the best quarterback in his division. Oh, wait. No, he isn't. Matt. Nice to be paid better than everyone else, having proven nothing. Cardinals equal winning organization. Oh, wait. Wow. Double D going off.
Well, I mean, you got a guy that's 24 years old. You do have to pay your 24-year-olds. Like, not every 24-year-old is Patrick Mahomes gets to the end of his rookie deal and he's already won a Super Bowl. Most guys haven't. So you got to pay them before they prove it, because that's how time works.
Can you hear Andy Reid when they win the Super Bowl? Now, this guy's good. We're going to lock him up. Where's my cheeseburger? We're locking this guy up.
That's where you're wrong. Andy Reid already had the cheeseburger in hand.
Where's my bag of cheeseburgers? We're locking this Mahomes fella up for a long time.
Because Patrick Mahomes is everything he wanted Donovan McNabb to be.
Exactly.
But actually good.
But good. Jake the Snake. What's up, guys? Kind of funny. Kyler's got homework. Yeah. Yeah, well, all the great ones do. Boy, that was pretty damning yesterday, that article you found.
Yeah. He said it himself.
That was pretty damning, man.
You know, and you can read it the way of, well, I don't want to spend all day doing it. But I was watching Pat McAfee yesterday, or this morning. I can't remember which. And,
I'm sorry.
He was talking about, you know, when he asked Peyton how much film Peyton watches, and Peyton was like, I can't even give you a number. I watch when we play a team, I watch all of their games that they've played so far. I watch all of our games when we've played defenses that look like theirs.
Mm-hmm.
I watch individual players' game. Like he watches so much film. He has this whole setup in his house so that he doesn't have to be at the facility until 3 a.m. He can, you know, at least be with his wife and kids at the house. He watches close to 20 hours of film a week. And here are the Cardinals just begging Kyler Murray to watch 4.
Well, I don't know. Begging's the word.
I don't know. Maybe not begging.
Stipulating in your overpriced contract. Yes.
Yes, stipulating. And the thing is, it wasn't just because I don't remember who it was that tried to spin it as, well, you know, he already watches film. I think it was Ian Rappaport actually kind of followed up on his tweet. You know, Kyler already watches film. The team just wanted it in the contract to make sure that it happens. But then why do they have to add the other stuff about, well, also make sure you're not playing Call of Duty while you're supposed to be watching film? If he was watching film the way that they wanted him to, they wouldn't have had to be that specific about what you can't be doing while you're supposed to be watching film at the same time.
Yep, that's true. That's true. There's something rotten in Denmark if they have to put that clause in that contract. And no, it's not a racist thing. No, it's not. That was the most ridiculous thing I saw all day.
Yeah, it was The Root is the name of the website, and I think that they're a branch off of Yahoo Sports. And look, The Root does a lot of reporting on racial issues that I think they do a good job, and I like when they do their coverage. But they're wrong here, and I do not understand why they made this a racial thing. Yes, I understand that the NFL does not have a great history with black quarterbacks at all. It's just like if you go all the way back to Warren Moon and the fact that he had to play, you know, in the Canadian Football League and he won a bunch of Grey Cups over there when he could have been winning Super Bowls over here. I get that the league doesn't have a great history here. However, you take a look at Russell Wilson's contract, and I guarantee you there is no clause about Russell Wilson has to watch film. You know, no. I don't think that was something that the Ravens were thinking about having to tell Lamar Jackson to do. Lamar Jackson, by the way, who spent his entire summer working on his throwing mechanics, trying to fix that. and because he's got a little bit of a funky delivery. This is a Kyler Murray specific issue. Dude likes to play video games a lot in one of the most difficult positions in one of the most difficult sports on earth.
Silly Wabbit says, that's it. I think Jeffrey needs to put a stipulation in you guys' contract to spend 4 hours a week studying grammar. Kelsey grammar? What kind of grammar?
He's a really good actor.
FedFan says that study clause was put in the contract by Mike Bidwell. Yeah, it was. Double D says, please explain why the Cardinals had to pay him now. He had 2 years left on his rookie contract. Well, he is a generational quarterback. He does have a lot of great upside to him. He's done nothing but grow and be positive here. And I'm talking about stats-wise and career-wise. Yes, there are some negatives. Yes, there's been some reports that have come out. But you want to lock this dude up.
And also got to think of the math from the Cardinals' point of view. The NFL is about to renew their TV deal. It's going to be huge and massive. That
Excellent
means
point.
Shared revenue is going to push the cap up. If you lock Kyler Murray in now, while the cap is still here, the deal actually gets better when the cap goes up. He actually is making a smaller percentage of the cap. And we all know that the next quarterback that's up to get paid is going to pass Kyler and Deshaun and maybe even Aaron Rodgers.
Boogie says, Cards aren't begging Kyler to watch film properly. They are scolding him like a child and threatening to take away his video games and allowance. No, I think they're asking him, if we're going to pay you and we're going to make this sort of, this commitment to you, then you're going to do your job. And you're not going to come out in the newspaper, Mr. Cocky, and say, oh, I don't have to watch film. I'm not going to break down all this film because I have this superpower where I can see things before it happens. No, you can't. You're no different than anybody else on the football field. You know better than anybody else on the football field, and you will study game tape, and you will help us win, or you won't get paid.
Yeah, you're going to lose $100 million, and I hope you're okay with that. Because here's the thing with Kyler. Even if he's not watching film and he feels like he can do all of these things without watching it, defenses are watching you on film. They're watching your tendencies. They're trying, and if you play on instinct, that's even better because now they can figure out what positions to force you in. Well, we know that when Kyler drops back, if we put some pressure on him, he's going to drop back further than he needs to.
They already have that figured out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happened in the playoff game. The Rams had Kyler figured out.
888-368-1580. We've got to get to a break here. When we come back, I got so much more to talk about. Your text on the text line. Ben Roethlisberger says there's a difference in players today than when he came into the league. I can't wait to share this one with Keon and see what he has to say. We'll talk about it around the corner. And also Gardner Minshew doing Gardner Minshew legendary things. It's a Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. Can you name what Dodgers manager won the only Dodger World Series title in Brooklyn? That answer is coming up on the Daily Sports Quiz.
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz, name the Dodger manager to win the only Dodger World Series title in Brooklyn, the great Walter Alston, remembered for his legendary string of one-year contracts. He, of course, eventually became the manager of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
You've been putting back a few, and a few becomes a few too many. For a moment, you think of calling for a ride, but nah, you live nearby. What's the worst that could happen? You get pulled over. Your insurance goes up, you lose your license, you total your car, you kill someone. The results of driving drunk are tragic. That's why law enforcement is out there looking for impaired drivers to save lives. So if you think you're okay to drive after a few drinks, think again. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
There's no doubt that Harman Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harman Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harman Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmansolar.com.
This is your captain speaking. You better buckle your seatbelts for this one. I noticed my passport was due to expire, so I went to Staples. I got a passport photo in 10 minutes, so we're good to go.
Now at Staples, purchase a travel service and get 20% off the rest of your purchase. Get travel ready at Staples, your one-stop travel prep destination.
Daddy, let me tell you about another time that Staples saved my caboose. That all started back.
N731, in-store only, excludes Instacart orders, certain products, services, and technology. See staplesconnect.com/services/travel for details.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Whiskey Wednesday on this edition of the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. I'm Randy. That's Keon. Jeffrey on vacation. He will be returning tomorrow, hopefully. It's now 5-3 in downtown Phoenix. And Big George is on the text line, 888-368-1580. Oh, how the winds have turned, Keon. Listen to this. Mark Melancon might be one of the worst closers in the history of the Diamondbacks, and we've had some bad ones. Yes, ladies and gentlemen.
Because there's runners on first and third.
Well.
I think if he throws a strike here, though, that's the end of it.
Well, we'll see if he can throw a strike here. Fed fan says Randy said that Kyler's done nothing but grow. That's funny. What do you mean, Fed fan? Cards Chappie says, didn't Murray recently say that there hasn't been another quarterback that does what he does? Maybe if he watched some film, he would realize that isn't true. Damn.
Oh, man. It's just hard to explain how impossibly frustrating that is to just hear the guy doesn't actually like to watch film. That is literally your job.
Yeah. And again, what he's 24. He's a typical young 24-year-old. He's done, been very successful in sports and feels like, he's invincible. And he hasn't had the kind of same situation that a Tom Brady or a Peyton Manning has had, where you've had to work at your craft. You're just not naturally gifted. You have to work at it. And so now it's going to catch up to him. Now they're going to mandate, as part of your paycheck, you need to work. You need to, you need to be ready to go. You need to, how can you escape? Look, the Rams know you, Kyler Murray. The Rams have got your number. They know that as soon as you turn to your left, you're going to turn to your right and keep running backwards, and they're going to chase you down. They did it in the last game. The 49ers know you, Kyler Murray. They know your moves. How you stutter step and you're going to pop a little pass, but then you decide to go on in when you're inside the 10-yard line. They know that. You think they're not going to be ready for that this year? You know why? Because they watch tape. And I wish everybody would just quit it with the poor little Kyler Murray. He's being made to look bad because he has this clause in his contract. Oh, boo-hoo. Suck it up. $230 million says, watch 4 hours a week. That's not asking too much. It reminds me of what Ben Roethlisberger, and I do this hesitantly because of his history, but Ben Roethlisberger came out in an interview, and he had some comments about players today in the NFL. His quote was, I might be standing on a soapbox a little bit, but that's my biggest takeaway from when I started to the end. It turned from a team first to a me type attitude. It was hard. It was hard for these young guys too. Social media, they're treated so well in college now. This new NIL stuff, which is unbelievable. They're treated so special. They're coddled at a young age because college coaches need them to win too. I know coach, and I'm not going to say the coach's name, never coddled me. Neither did Coach Cower. Well, Cameron Hayward has taken he's taken offense to this. Cameron Hayward does not necessarily agree with Ben Roethlisberger. Cameron Hayward says, Ben's pretty quick to talk, but you don't know what the background these guys came from. You don't know what they're dealing with. And it's also, it's also on leadership. Leadership has been pretty soft. We're accountable for these guys. Obviously, we haven't had a Super Bowl in a long time, and maybe that's where Ben is like, man, if those guys would have grown up, but it's up to the older guys to step up and hold guys accountable. He's saying that Ben and the other captains on the team didn't hold these youngsters accountable. So what is it, Keon? Is it this new me mentality? Kind of what we've seen recently here with guys wanting to make a move, or guys scrubbing their social media because they want a super huge paycheck, and then coming out and making bold statements in the New York Post about not planning because I'm above everybody else. I can do everything better. I mean, or is it accountability on the captain's part? Sorry, Keon, go ahead. I surrender the floor to you.
Oh, thank you. I think both things can be true. I think that there does need to be, I think, a lot more accountability. But I also just think that Ben Roethlisberger is an interesting person to have this conversation about. Because Ben Roethlisberger began his career where partying was like the most important thing to Ben. That's how he got into any of the trouble that he got into. Does anybody remember the motorcycle accident that nearly killed him? Because Ben Roethlisberger was more interested in living the fast life than playing football at an incredibly high level. So it's weird for Ben to be the guy. He's now 40. He had an 18-year NFL career to look back and go, well, things are so different now. Like, no, guys have been coddled this whole time. Are things getting more drastic? Yeah, they are. But does Ben Roethlisberger think that, he went to the Miami of Ohio and those coaches didn't treat him well because they weren't afraid of him moving to another place? Come on. You were coddled too. Maybe these guys were coddled more, but it's not, the world didn't change that much in the time that Ben was playing football. But I do think that there are certain guys that have so much success that they can't even understand or conceive of the idea that they need to work even harder. Kyler Murray, 42-0 in college, or in high school, rather. Dude didn't lose a game in high school. 10,000 passing yards in high school. He is probably the greatest high school football player to ever come out of the state of Texas. Just if you look at his numbers, they're stupid. They're video game numbers. And then he went to college and more or less did the same thing. Put up insane numbers. So now he's in the NFL. He's never had to struggle until getting in the league. And even then, he has so much talent that, yeah, he is able to do things that other guys can't do and make plays. But that doesn't mean that it's going to last forever. And I do think that when guys come into the league, I think the first thing that they need is that reality check. That this thing is not going to continue on forever. And other talented guys have come into this position where you have, and they have failed. Okay. I mean, we laugh at Josh Rosen and, poke fun at him, but Josh Rosen is the top 1% of 1% of 1% of athletes that have ever played the game of football in this country. That's what it takes to make it to the NFL. Even the bad NFL players are still better at football than you and I will ever imagine being. But
I'm sorry, go ahead.
But guys like Kyler, when you have that much talent, they do need the reality check because it's coming for you.
Cameron Hayward, one of Roethlisberger's teammates, here was his quote. It looks as though we are looked at as selfish players. I don't think that's the point. Not just football with Cam Hayward podcast. We have a lot of young players that come from different backgrounds, have experienced different things from what others or I may have experienced. That doesn't make them selfish or more me type attitude. There are a lot of team first guys than me type attitude. I took offense to what Ben said. So he's saying that because Ben doesn't understand the background of some of these guys, it looks like they might be very self-focused and self-centered, but it doesn't necessarily mean that's the way they are. That's just kind of they're cut from a different cloth than Ben Roethlisberger. Do you think that's a fair statement?
I think that is a fair statement. I think a lot of guys get to the NFL and they see that as their chance and their opportunity to change their lives forever, change the financial situations. Even if you didn't come from a bad background, you have a chance to make generational wealth. You know, that is going to be on the top of everybody's mind, and it is ultimately a business. But I don't think that you can call football the ultimate team sport and have guys show up and they're not about the team. That's not what I've seen. I've seen a lot of guys be about the team, but there are exceptions. You know, we are going to see Kyler Murray kind of guys every now and then pop into the league. How else can you put that any differently?
All right, 888-368-1580. That's the text line. You can be a part of the show. Let's see. Your Boomer Sooner says Diamondback sweep. See, Randy, that's it. He has never had to be under any type of pressure or things that have gone wrong for him. He's been the golden boy his whole life. Kyler Murray, that is. Okay, thank you, because you started with Diamondback sweep. Okay, I got you. Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's what we're saying. But guess what? Now it's time to learn. Welcome to the NFL, Kyler Murray. What you once did is not going to necessarily get you through in the NFL. It might help you be one of the best ever, but let us help you by making you sit down and study some tape.
And let me put it this way. If Kyler Murray has not been watching tape and this is how good he is, I can only imagine Michael Bidwill going, now, if you got him to watch it, how much better could he be?
Well, exactly. I mean, I think that's the thought behind it. It wasn't a slap at Kyler Murray. It was, dude, imagine what this guy could do if he would spend some time. Instead of on Modern Warfare, he would pick up the machine and do a few hours of look, this is not much. A game week, 4 hours in a game week, it's not much.
Like if you just, the amount of preparation that it takes to go into, you know, to do a show like this one, you know, what you have to read, everything that you need to be on top of. I mean, you know, I love the Fourth Dimension. And the thing that I love about them is that they're straight with us and they're honest. If I misspeak, if I say something wrong, if I give a stat that's incorrect, if like yesterday I said Coach K John Calipari was coaching in North Carolina, I misspoke. Immediately corrected. What, you got to stay on top of stuff because people notice. We don't get paid a fraction of what Kyler Murray gets paid.
No.
And they're just asking that the guy.
Well, I mean,
watch
Jeffrey would say speak for yourself, but
well, that's true.
That's Jeffrey.
That's true. The rest of us, mere mortals here at 1580 The Fanatic, we don't get paid a fraction of what Kyler Murray gets paid. And it is it's very telling, I think, that the team looked at that and went, yeah, if we're going to give you $250 million, of course we're going to make you study.
I think this is a great take, and it kind of echoes what you were saying. The Last Optimist says, it would appear Big Ben Roethlisberger or Rapesberger does not own a mirror and forgot about his incidents with feeling privileged and treating women improperly in a bar, restrooms, and rearranging his face on a car while riding a motorcycle. Yeah, you know what, Keon? He alluded to that. You're right. Ben is older now. His life has changed. He's become older, more mature, and he's not remembering back to when he was 20-something. And he was the biggest dude in the room. And he had all this talent. And he had a lot of money. Big George says the Diamondbacks swept the Giants. They're now 5-1 since the All-Star break. They're now only 6 games out of the wild card playoff spot. Let's keep it going, boys. Easy, George. Easy. You might blow a gasket. When we come back on the Daily Blender, what's Gardner Minshew doing that once again has cemented him in legendary status? We'll talk about that. We've also got, we've got some crazy prop bets from the NFL season that I want to go over with you. A whole bunch of stuff. Oh, and plus the Live Tour released their schedule for next year. Uh-oh. And what big name might be going to the Live Tour? I may not be one you know about. It's the Daily Blender. Hour 1 down, hour 2 next here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Christmas in July is back at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. For this month only, get a $20 bonus card for every $100 gift card you purchase. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create food, fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. Enjoy a memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's a perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, and signature cocktails. Now through July, get your $100 gift card and $20 bonus card. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. Christmas in July is back at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
I absolutely love my dog, but the constant shedding, not so much. But then I got a Swiffer Sweeper pet kit, and it is amazing. These super thick cloths pick up a crazy amount of hair. Just look at all that. And that was from just one swipe. And the best part, Sweeper's so much easier to maneuver than a broom or a vacuum, easily getting around chairs and under the couch. You're right. Now I can focus on you, not your shedding. Swiffer Sweeper Pet Kit, because shed happens.
Can you tell which pills contain the deadly dose of fentanyl? Neither can your child. Counterfeit pills laced with fentanyl are killing Arizona's youth at an alarming rate. They're cheap, easy to get, and just one pill can kill. Get the facts on fentanyl at TalkNowAZ.com. Talk with your children. Monitor their texts and social media. Visit TalkNowAZ.com. This message is sponsored by the Substance Abuse Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Live from the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale.
This is KQFN Tempe.
Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K240 U Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
Quiet, people, settle down. Because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
And welcome everybody to a Wednesday edition of the Daily Blender on this July 27th. My name is Randy White. Right over there, the sexiest man in sports talk radio, Keon Rose. Jeffrey O'Brien on vacation. Be back tomorrow, so your long national nightmare nearly over. Jeffco will be returning behind the microphone tomorrow. We've been talking to you on the text line at 888-368-1580 as we broadcast live from the Harmon Solar Mega Complex in beautiful Midtown Scottsdale. Yeah, it's a megaplex, right? That's what we're calling it, right?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So last hour we talked a little bit about a little bit of everything. Diamondbacks ended up winning a 3-game sweep of the Gigantes. Season's not over yet, George. Plenty of games to play, including St. Louis, the Mets, the Guardians, a lot of great teams. The Dodgers.
The Nats will play the Mets next week. I'll let you know how fun it is going up against Scherzer, and I think DeGrom's going to be back.
Oh yeah. He threw a rehab assignment today.
Oh, good Lord. I'm not excited about that.
No, just crazy how those guys.
I had to finally confront Bruce Jacobs. By the way, it went exactly how I thought it was going to go.
Of course. How did it go?
It was just he gloated for, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes straight. Kind because the Mets are great. Okay, they're fantastic right now.
Good team, yeah.
Yeah, they
Good team.
beat the Yankees. So he was extra happy about that. And I just sit there and take it because my team's the worst team in baseball.
That's the way it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You know, though, Bruce is a lot of things, but he won't overdo it. He'll give it to you, but he won't overdo it. You know what I mean? He won't carry it on into the hallways. He won't leave notes on your car. You know what I mean?
That's true.
He doesn't make a big deal. He'll get it out. He'll get his gloating out, and then it's done.
And look, Bruce has been nothing but nice to me. I'm not.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know,
and he generally doesn't bring it up. I mean, generally.
But we have a couple of teams that are rivals of each other, so it has to come up. We have no choice.
All right. So I got some prop bets. You know, we're Arizona's sports betting station here at 1580 99.3 The Fanatic. And there was some prop bets that came across my desk, and I thought, oh, geez, you know, these would be kind of fun to talk about with everybody. So let's talk about that for a minute as we lead off hour number 2 on the Daily Blender. Of course, I would love to hear from you. Some of these crazy prop bets that are coming up. First of all, remember yesterday, or was it the day before, we were talking about where Jimmy G is going to land, seeing that he's now broken up with the 49ers. And Shanahan doesn't want him there anymore. Look, baby, I don't know how I'm going to get along without you, but starting tomorrow, going to find out. And remember how you said your likely spot would be, because they had the Browns as being favorites to go? Well, that's changed now since you spoke, Keon. According to these crazy prop bets that they have, the Giants at plus 200 are now the favorite to land Jimmy Garoppolo's career. That'll be his next team. And then the Browns at 225, Seahawks at 350, Texans at 500, Lions at 600, Bears 14, Jets 2,000, Saints at 2,200. He ain't going to the Saints.
No.
It's somewhere between the Giants, the Seahawks, maybe the Lions. I doubt the Browns. Hell, the Browns can't afford to have, you know, half a dozen quarterbacks on staff.
Yeah, don't they have 5? Something like that. I don't know.
They got Watson. They got Rosen. I don't know. They had 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, they've got Brissett, and then they brought on somebody along with Rosen. I don't remember exactly who that was because I don't care enough. But
you still staying with the Giants? I think that's.
I am.
I mean, I think it's a good call.
I think Joe Schoen, their general manager, Brian Dable, these guys are not married to Daniel Jones. They're not attached to him. They didn't draft him. And especially Brian Dable, because I think that guy's just got attention for detail. When you go and watch Daniel Jones play, it's going to drive him insane. It's going to drive him crazy. And I don't know how many practices or how long or how many games they got to watch Daniel Jones before they decide to go in another direction. But I think at some point they're going to have enough. And the only quarterback worth a damn is Jimmy Garoppolo.
Mm. I mean, the Texans, really? Lovie Smith would bring in Jimmy G?
I don't think so. I honestly think that Davis Mills, who, you know, Lovie Smith isn't attached to Davis Mills either, I guess, but Davis Mills is at least coming off of his rookie season.
Let me tell you something. Lovie Smith isn't attached to anybody on the Texans. He's just wonderful. He's just thankful to be working.
Yeah.
That's all.
And I think that, you know, he's going to be a little bit more under the thumb of management. Of the ownership of the Houston Texans. And they like Davis Mills. They liked what they saw from him last year. You know what? I do too. I thought there was some promise there. They took a flyer with their only draft pick in that draft and took Davis Mills, and the guy can play a little bit.
Okay, so the sports bets.ag, they've got the Giants as the favorite at plus 200. I still think it's the Seahawks. I mean, the Sea Chickens have nobody. They've got nobody. Wouldn't they want to bring in a guy, especially a guy that was on, the 49ers and steal all of the plays out of his head? You know, they've got these suction devices in the NFL where they put you in a dark room and they put this plate on your head and it sucks all the information the other team out, puts it into their data computers. They make you watch all sorts of weird videos and as they suck all the stuff out.
if you have Drew Lock and Geno Smith, you don't have anybody, like you said. But I think that's the plan. I don't think that they're shouting it off the mountaintops.
Okay.
But I just think that they're looking at that next year quarterback class and going, if we can get Levis or Stroud or Young, that's going to be.
Boy, I just don't see. I don't see anybody that's generational talent in next year's quarterback class.
I think Bryce Young is.
Really?
I think Bryce Young is. Yeah.
All right.
I just the way he played from day one at Alabama, they didn't coddle him at all. They didn't go heavy run game and play action. They just said, "Here's the whole playbook," and he ran it, and won a Heisman.
So let's look at some of these prop bets. I'm interested to hear what the Fourth Dimension has to say, and I'm interested to hear what you have to say. Let's start with highest single game passing yards individual. I guess that would be, oppose highest single game passing yards group. Like if you had multiple,
right,
guys in it. The individual over under is 509.5 yards. You taking the over or under on that? Highest single game passing yards, 509.5 yards.
I'll take the over on that. There's
really?
Yeah. I
think somebody's going to go 510 yards?
There always is that one game where someone just goes crazy, and it could be.
God, I hope he's on my fantasy team.
It could be Allen. It could be Herbert. There are enough teams with guys that can push the ball downfield with weapons that'll be open downfield.
Mm-hmm.
They play a bad enough defense or a defense that's flat-footed or a little bit dinged up. Yeah, I think somebody's going to do it.
Yeah, I can't see that. Even if you're playing against the Texans, I can't see that.
Like it's going to have to be a hell of a day, but I think that
you've got the over 509.
I'll take it.
All right, longest reception over or under 94.5 yards. See, now you're getting that ticklish area. Like, all right, they're going to have to give one from almost the goal line to make this work.
Yeah, and that's where it's tough because if your offense is any good, are you really throwing 94-yard bombs? I'm going to take the under on that.
Yeah, me too.
I just think I don't know what the longest one last year was. Let me look that up. But I'm going to take the under on that.
Me too. I'm taking the under. Longest rush over under 92 yards. Yeah, they're not giving you a half here. Longest rush. One of those trap plays that kind of gets the defense caught in between coverage or something, and everybody's spread out, and a guy breaks free. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I could see that happening. The Colts, what's his name? Jonathan Taylor. 92 yards. I'll take the over on that.
Derrick Henry's back, so he could potentially be there. I'm trying to find what happened last year, but I'm probably going to take the under on that too.
You're going to take the under on it?
Yeah, on the longest rush.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We should be writing these down, but it's just a fun little game, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to keep track of that here and just to see, we'll check in during the football season and see where we land on some of these.
Yeah. All right, let's see. Longest field goal. This is one. Oh, this is a good one. Over under 62.5 yards. That half yard. It's always the one to get you. Over under 62.5. Longest field goal.
62.5. You know what? We had that extra. I don't remember exactly how long it was, but we had that really long one with Justin Tucker last year in that game against the Lions where they should have lost, where the Ravens should have lost that game. And then Justin Tucker smashed the field goal in, and it bounced on the field goal post and then kind of went over. I'm going to take the under on that too. I just really think that these are rare things that happen.
Wow.
62.5.
Okay. All right. I was going to take the under as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Here we go. This is one we can argue about. regular season most passing yards. Keep in mind, Brady is in the league. Aaron Rodgers. Just keep this in mind. Over under 5,250 and a half yards. See, that half is the hook. 5,250 and a half yards. It's a passing league, Keon.
It's a passing league, but that is a tough one. Because even the best quarterbacks are still capping out around, 4,800, 4,900. Pretty sure that's around where Kyler wound up last year, and Kyler was throwing the ball all over the place.
Imagine if he starts studying tape.
I know.
I'm not going to let it go.
I'm gonna take the under on that too.
Okay, me too. All right, I'll take the under. Right.
I'm just not that optimistic about
all right.
5,250 and a half passing yards. That is
all right. Regular season most receiving touchdowns. Over under 15 and a half touchdowns.
15 and a half. Yeah, I'll take over on that.
Really? So you think somebody's going to have more than 15 and a half touchdowns? Receiving touchdown
with the offenses in this league that have receivers that basically control the whole offense.
Okay,
somebody's going to go off, and I don't know if it's going to be Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase, or if Cooper Kupp's going to be able to get into the end zone more. Somebody's doing it though.
All right. Over under regular season most interceptions by a quarterback. Most interceptions thrown by a quarterback. Over under 19 interceptions.
I'll take the over on that.
So you think somebody's going to go over 19 interceptions? Wow.
Either Jameis goes back to his old ways. Maybe it's my guy, Carson Wentz.
Well, not Jameis. Come on.
Maybe it's Daniel Jones, who can't stop throwing interceptions anyway. If the Giants don't make that move for Jimmy G, I could definitely see Daniel Jones doing it.
All right. All right. Most regular season interceptions by a defensive player. Over under 8.5 interceptions.
That's 8.5's tough because 8. I've seen 8 happen plenty of times. I don't know how many 9 interception seasons guys have. that's rough. Boy, there are plenty of guys in the league that can do it though.
What about old jump the route? What's his face in Dallas?
Oh yeah, Trayvon Diggs. I mean, he's definitely somebody to look at for that. I mean, as much as he gets beat, he does intercept passes and make those big plays. Darius Slay in Philadelphia is in a really good position defensively now to where he can probably do it. I don't know. There are probably a couple of guys with the Chargers who could do it. I'm gonna take the over. I'm going to take the over. I think there are enough guys in this league that are really good and have a nose for the football that some one of them could find themselves at 9.
All right. Will any team go 17-0? It's plus 1,400. Yes.
I'm going no.
Okay. Will any team go 20-0? Yes, is plus 3,300.
Well, my previous answer was no, so this answer is also no.
Will any team go 0-17? The yes is plus 1,600.
I don't think there's any team in the league bad enough to go 0-17.
The Texans.
The Texans are truly terrible, but their division also contains the Jaguars. So that there's
Jaguars
games
are going to be better this year.
They will
be way
be
better. Yeah.
But they're still in that beatable space. The Texans are beating somebody.
All right. First head coach fired. I'll give you some. Matt Rule is the favorite at plus 350. Mike McCarthy at plus 450. Pete Carroll plus 600. Ron Rivera plus 800. Cliff Kingsbury plus 1,000. Frank Reich plus 1,100. That surprised me.
Rivera up there surprises me too, to a degree, but all right.
First head coach fired. Matt Rule, Mike McCarthy, Pete Carroll, Ron Rivera, Cliff Kingsbury, or Frank Reich.
I'm leaning towards I'm leaning towards McCarthy a little bit because the situation in Dallas is a pretty nice situation. They've got a good team.
And Sean Payton's going to come back.
Yeah. Jerry Jones likes the idea of Sean Payton. And if they start off slow, I don't think Jerry's going to stand for it. I think he's going to be really impatient about it. And The Cowboys have, tied with my Washington Commandos, the easiest schedule in the entire league. If they screw that up, how do you not fire McCarthy?
Well, I mean, after offending the entire, the population of small people in the country, Jerry said that he had options and he could put a different head coach in there if he wanted, but he is standing by Mike McCarthy. However, the caveat to that, we need to be viable and in the playoffs. So I think that's a good call.
Yeah, and look, Michael Gallup is already hurt. Guys, on that NFI list right now, and they let Amari Cooper walk in free agency. So they're not deep at receiver.
All right, Sean McVay, just so that you know, Sean McDermott, Sean McVay, they're plus 150,000 to be the first fired.
They're not going to be fired at all. So, I mean, even if McVay coaches a disaster, he's still not getting fired.
All right, before we go to the text line, lowest scoring team, the favorite right now at plus 500, the Texans.
Yeah, I can see that. There's also a strong case to be made for, and I know that Chicago fans don't want to hear this. The Bears.
Oh no.
The Bears did zero things this offseason to help Justin Fields outside of let's go get N'Keal Harry, who might help. He didn't do anything to help the guy.
Boogie wants to make this statement to Kyler. Listen, Kyler, when Big Ben was young quarterback, it was very different. They weren't coddled. It was much harder. They had to play quarterback in the snow while it rained for both teams. Yeah, Boogie. There you go. Blissful Hayes on the text line, 888-368-1580, says Torey Lovello, comeback manager of the year. He deserves a raise. Dear God. Dear God.
Oh, please don't say things like that. Not even as a joke. Not
Blissful
even
Hayes
as a
also
joke.
says Juan Soto to the Arizona Cardinals. Can he play quarterback or receiver? No. St. Louis Cardinals is what I said. Cards Chappie says, can we get a requirement in Ayton's contract to put down the controller the night before a game day? Agreed. Big George says, Randy, if you told me to cheer for the Padres instead of the Diamondbacks yesterday, well, the Padres just lost 2 out of 3 to the lowly Detroit Tigers. Hey, don't sleep on the Tigers. Would I cheer for the Padres if they make the playoffs? Sure. But I'm a Diamondbacks fan through and through. I get it, Big George. I appreciate your enthusiasm.
I don't think there's anything wrong with if you're a fan of a team, but you've moved somewhere else cheering for the local team.
No, there's not a problem with that at all. But they're not going to make the playoffs. A Boomer Sooner says, see, Randy, that's it. He's never had to be any other type of pressure other than things that have gone wrong for him. Yes. Or he's been the golden boy his whole life. Kyler Murray, that is. Randy, have you been drinking Suck the Stuff off of his head?
What?
What
does that even mean?
What? Suck the stuff off of his head.
I don't even want to ask questions. I don't even want to know what that means. I have no idea.
Wow. And on that, let's take a break. It's the Daily Blender on 15. Suck the Stuff. What? Boomer Sooner? Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
New message. What up? It's Heather's cousin. You dated her in college, or maybe you were just in the same class. Anyway, I heard you bought a boat, my man. Let's hit the water. Oh, and Heather told me you always liked snacks and stuff, so I could totally bring some chips.
When you get a boat, you also get new friends. Make sure Progressive's one of them and get coverage today for as little as $100 a year.
Hey, also, I'm a little short on cash, so can you cover the chips? Thanks. I can see why Heather liked you.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy not available in all states.
This is Aaron Warby, host of the Bulls and the Bears Radio Hour. In the show, we try to teach the tools, rules, and strategies that traders and investors need to do better with their wealth and portfolio income. But most of the time, an hour is just not long enough. At Online Trading Academy, we believe that the average person should be given the tools, rules, and strategies that Wall Street's elites have been using for years to outperform others. Are you one of the millions that have recently established a trading account? Or have you always wanted to trade or take a more active role in guarding and growing your own wealth, but have not had the know-how or confidence? We want to invite you out to a complimentary 3-hour power trading and investing workshop, where you'll learn what it is that the professionals use to limit their risks and maximize their possible gains in both trading and investing. To register, call 8448-TRADER. That's 844-887-2337, or text the word stocks to 25,029. Again, that's stocks to 25,029. Reserve your seat now.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl.
The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season,
you'd better think again.
The NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more.
Football is always in season here.
We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Your home for football.
There we go. Back into a Wednesday here on the Daily Blender, segment number 2 in hour number 2. As we keep rolling along. No, we're not on past midnight. We're just on till 6 o'clock tonight. Don't forget, text of the day is what we're looking for to qualify you to win that $100 gift card that we'll be giving away on Friday for Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Now, listen, this is their Christmas in July campaign. You go into the Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, you get yourself a $100 gift card, and Kasai is going to give you a little Christmas gift, $20 gift card, absolutely free. So you get a $120 value just for spending your hard-earned $100. And it's never a bad time to buy Christmas gifts. Think of your friends, Keon and Randy, down here at the Radio Ranch. I mean, either one of us would love to have a Kasai gift card. So there you go. The two great reasons right there to go get Kasai. And if you come up with a witty and snappy little text and we deem it the text of the day, it goes in the hopper like Swave Dave from yesterday. And on Friday, we'll do a drawing to see who gets that weekly $100 Kasai Japanese Steakhouse $100 gift card. That's all you got to do. You just play the home game. Text along like you do. Kind of like the Hefty Lefty. To quote Oscar snubbed masterpiece Starship Troopers, they sucked his brains out. Okay, now I was thinking about this during the break. Because Boomer Sooner said, have you been drinking? He sucked his head off or something like that. Yeah. Hey, I was talking about Jimmy Garoppolo. They have this instrument, in the NFL where it sucks all the plays and stuff that you have put in your brains. It sucks it out into a computer machine. And then they have all the material. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You remember that show back in the day is Chuck?
Yeah, I remember
the
Chuck.
guy that had he had the funky moving pictures on his eyes, and then he had his brain was full of all the secrets.
Yeah, you could just download, like if you wanted to be like a kung fu master, you could just download the information into his brain.
Yeah, he would download that, and he would see. It's kind of like the Matrix. Well, yeah, NFL has had that technology for a long time. So I just thought I'd let you know that. But it doesn't work to input all the plays. They have to still go the manual way. They're working on that.
So you still have to watch
extract it. Yeah, you still got to watch the film. But to extract it, they have this. They have that thing like Chuck, where you watch that and it extracts all the information from your old team out of your brain and into their computer box that they have. So now they have all the secrets of the other team. See what I'm saying?
I've always wondered how they did that.
Yeah, there it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a brain sucker device. They use pictures, and your eyes move real fast, and then you pass out at the end. And they wake up, and what they've done is they changed the room around to make it look like it was Margarita Wednesday.
And they put a glass in your hand. Like, boy, that was some party, huh?
And you're none the wiser. You have no idea.
Right, because you don't really, something doesn't feel right here. Big George at 888-368-1580 says, Keon, you take that back about Chicago Bears. They're going to rise up out of their multi-year hibernation and jack stomp the paltry NFC North, Skull Bears, Cheeseheads, and Motorheads.
And take it up with your divisional rivals, man. I'm just saying, I am worried that offense is depleted.
Flying Monkey says, I think the Niners can't trade him to the Seahawks. Can't trade him. The Seahawks are definitely going to sign him as a free agent. Like Kyler Murray at a urinal, I knew I'd have to be on my toes.
Okay. I chuck.
Flying Monkeys. Let me do that. Maybe I did not do this justice. I think if the Niners can't trade him, the Seahawks are definitely going to sign him as a free agent. Text number 2. Like Kyler Murray at a urinal, I knew I'd have to be on my toes. Flying Monkeys.
It's not laugh out loud funny, but I still think it's fun.
Well, it's pretty clever. It's pretty clever. I kind of like it. We'll keep that one in mind, Flying Monkeys. Boomer Sooner, you said the NFL takes quarterbacks in a room, puts them in a dark room, and sucks the stuff out of their head. Yeah. All the secrets from the other team. I just explained it here on live radio. Boomer Sooner, where were you? Keon and I was explaining. It's like that show, Chuck. If you've ever watched that show, Chuck, a well-meaning guy working at a electronics store gets a flashy pictures going on in his face, and then he gets all the secrets to the United States, and he's like a supercomputer all of a sudden, but he's still a human being. That's why it's called Chuck. That's what they're going to do to Jimmy Garoppolo. They haven't figured out how to load the playbooks into your head, just extract the information, and then they throw a margarita mix all over the place and make it seem like there was a wild party. Pretty sure that's the way it works. Someone told me that. Kyle G says, instead of waiting for one of us to take you to Kasai, you should have Keon use a burner phone and send it a text that you declare text of the day. Then the two of you can split it or go together. Say that's genius.
That is brilliant.
Say now.
Counterpoint. If I am caught doing this, I will be another. You'll be finding another
former co-host
here on the Daily Blender. If they catch me doing it,
you'll join the former co-host club.
With
Taylor Quitter and Speedo toilet eating Phil.
I mean, I don't even understand that.
He eats on the toilet. It's a thing. I guess
we were talking. We were kind of bonding over. Hey, Jersey Mike's is good. We both like that. And then he started talking about eating on the toilet, and I'm like, I can't follow you down that path. Can't do it.
We need to move on. That's
But anyway, I would like to not be a former co-host of the Daily Blender because I moved across the country to be here for a while.
Yeah. Well, Kyle G, nice try. Thanks. Good thinking. That's using your noggin right there. 888-368-1580. Why is Brett Favre so cheap? His daughter, apparently on a national television show, has revealed that he's cheap, and she has a funny story about why he's cheap. On a show called Claim to Fame. Do you know what this show is? It's a Monday night show, Claim to Fame.
So this is funny because I actually saw it in a restaurant the other day.
You saw Brett Favre on Claim to Fame?
Not him, but his daughter, because there's a bunch. I don't know. It's kind of like
geez, you saw the thing that we're talking about.
Yeah, they didn't have the volume on, but yeah, the show is basically a bunch of famous people's relatives are in this gigantic house, and they're trying to guess who
their
related
relatives
to who.
are.
Yeah. So Brett Favre's daughter is on the show, and I guess she said some stuff.
Does she look like Brett Favre?
No, I wouldn't have guessed until she started showing the pictures of the two of them. I wouldn't have guessed that was his daughter.
Because that she would be kind of homely looking. You know what I'm saying?
I really don't think that she looks like him.
Okay.
All
right. Well, Brett Favre apparently is cheap, according to a Monday night episode of Claim to Fame. Brittany Brett's oldest daughter ran the bus over him on national television as being cheap. During a conversation with Logan, her closest ally on the ABC reality show. Dear God.
Yeah, that's the level we're at right now.
She says, my relative, regardless of like paycheck, is really cheap. He grew up with absolutely nothing. So he had this old Chevy that he loved, and the muffler fell off. He just chained it to the bumper. So my dad's taking me to school. And so every time we hit a speed bump, there was this loud, horrible scraping sound and sparks flying in all directions. So by the time I get to the front of the line, they're like, your dad can't afford to fix his truck?
Can, but won't.
And she goes on to say, he's still that way. Dear God.
I mean, this is explaining a lot about Brett Favre, like the money that he was paid by the Mississippi state government to go do a public appearance that he never did, and then they had to coerce
he finally
him
paid that back. He finally paid
strongly to pay him back, though.
Yeah,
It took a while. I'm imagining Brett Favre.
Yeah, no, he
having
paid it back.
to give the money back, and they had to pry it from his fingers.
You'll pry it from my cold dead hands.
Like he wasn't capable of physically letting go of the money.
Have you seen my truck? I need that money. Holy cow. So there it is. Brett Favre cheap, according to his oldest daughter. All right. According to Steph Curry, Phoenix is getting a new player, a great player, with the addition of a guy named Damian Lee. Have you heard about this?
I have.
Damian Lee? Do you know who Damian Lee is?
Yeah, he was bench player with the Warriors, rotation guy.
Yeah. Well, he's also Steph Curry's brother-in-law. Did you know that?
I did not know that, but Steve Kerr made a joke that Damian Lee was a Splash brother-in-law, so that makes more sense now.
Yeah. So Steph Curry feverishly hopped up and down with a few teammates immediately after Golden State defeated Boston in Game 6 to win the NBA Finals. One of his was Splash Bro Klay Thompson. The other was his brother-in-law Damian Lee, who's married to his sister. And he says that Phoenix is getting a great one when you pick this guy up. They're getting a great one. Time to blossom even more, my brother. Gonna miss what you brought to the team on and off the court. Son's got a great one. And he put hashtag no white flags. Does that mean don't give up? Is that what it means?
Yeah, I think so. I can't say for sure, but I think that's what that means. Which makes sense because he is somebody who didn't have an easy path to the league. Played 3 years, I think, at Drexler in college, and then transferred to Louisville and with his transfer.
Yeah,
worked his butt off. I forget who drafted him, but he bounced around on a few teams, before he found himself with Golden State, and really took off. Once you're in that system, they develop players really well.
Well, he's on the Phoenix Suns. As a matter of fact, undrafted out of Louisville. Lee had a pre-draft workout with the Suns in May of 2016. So it's not like the Phoenix Suns did not know who he was. So Phoenix Suns bringing in Steph Curry's brother-in-law, married to his sister. And according to Steph Curry, it's a great one. So more good news for the Phoenix Suns.
He's going to help them be deeper. And I really like
what position
the way
is he? It doesn't say here.
He's shooting guard, small forward, like
okay.
that kind of wing
right.
position there. And what I like about him is his defense. I cannot stop thinking about how Luka was able to post up anybody he wanted to in that series against the Mavs. Well, 6'10", 210 pounds, 215 pounds. That's Damian Lee. So he'll give you some size on the defensive end, which is really nice.
Well, according to Steph Curry, we got a great one. Hefty Lefty on the text line says, did Simone Biles' sister make it past week 2 because she's the easiest to guess? I don't know. I don't watch the show.
And I saw an episode once in a Thai restaurant, actually. Weird.
Hey, Kyle G says, that's not cheap. He used a chain. I can only afford a wire hanger. Huh? I see. Watermelon says, what Curry is coming to Phoenix next? What? We were just talking about. Is this on? I'm going to take a break here in hour 2 of the Daily Blender for a Wednesday. When we come back, there is a secret superstar on each team, and we're going to discover who that is for the Cardinals and other teams. We'll talk some NFL right around the corner here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
DQ presents Picture This. Picture yourself at DQ on Thursday, July 28th for Miracle Treat Day. You roll up to order a Blizzard with your friends and family like you have so many times before. But on this day, every flavor comes with a much-needed dose of hope. For every Blizzard you buy at participating locations, $1 or more will be donated to Children's Miracle Network hospitals for your local children's hospital, making Miracle Treat Day the most satisfying way to give hope to kids in your community. Thursday, July 28th at DQ.
Everyone knows how beneficial therapy can be, but traditional therapy can be overwhelming, confusing, and inconvenient. When scheduling in-person therapy, it can be difficult to find the right therapist near you, and it can take weeks to get on their calendar. We knew there had to be a better way, and that's where BetterHelp began. I'm Danny, co-founder of BetterHelp Online Therapy. When Alana and I started BetterHelp in 2013, our mission was simple: find a way to make professional therapy accessible, affordable, and convenient for everyone. BetterHelp works around your schedule and lifestyle. You can connect to a therapist by phone, video call, or even text message. You don't even have to turn on your camera if you don't feel comfortable. And if your therapist isn't the right fit, you can switch anytime with a click of a button, because BetterHelp is designed with you in mind. See why over 2 million members have trusted BetterHelp for online therapy. Go to betterhelp.com/wellbeing and get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wellbeing for 10% off your first month.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Well, Mrs. Grayer, nothing on the x-ray that pinpoints the source of the pain. Let's send you to our lumbar expert.
After reviewing the x-rays, I can't see anything wrong. Let's give you a steroid shot for the pain and send you to the lab for some blood work.
Tired of the runaround? How about trying a new approach? The holistic approach.
At the Naturopathic Physicians Group in Scottsdale, our medical doctors are experts in full spectrum care using a natural approach. Patients come in for a variety of issues, including joint pain, chronic conditions, and issues specific to men's and women's health. Our naturopathic doctors can restore pain-free joint function and restore balance in immune, digestive, and hormone systems, which often improves both immediate physical symptoms and also improves cognition and emotional stability. If traditional medicines aren't working, don't you think it's time to start feeling like yourself again? Call Naturopathic Physicians Group at 480-451-6161. That's 480-451-6161. Or go to naturopathicgroup.com.
The most important event in sports could happen at any time.
Like right now.
Or right now. Or even
now.
Don't miss history. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or at 1580thefanatic.com.
It is the Daily Blender for a Wednesday, Whiskey Wednesday here in 1580 99.3 The Fanatic. There's one for Keon, and by golly, there's one for me, and there's one for you, the Fourth Dimension, texting in at 888-368-1580. We're looking for today's unique and a wonderful text of the day. If you are voted as the text of the day, you will be thrown in the hopper, and we'll have a drawing on Friday to give you a possibly Well, we will give you an opportunity to win a $100 gift certificate to Kasai Japanese Steakhouse during their Christmas in July sale. They want to they want to hand out some of these things to get some people involved with coming over to be entertained. And they've got great food items to choose from, a wonderful menu, wonderfully prepared entrees. You look them up at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. Take the family there. But if you have the text of the day, we're going to give you a $100 gift card if you are deemed text of the week. So 888-368-1580. I was looking through Pro Football Focus today, and they had an interesting article. And they were talking about some of the players that are secret superstars on each team. For example, with the Arizona Cardinals, they're saying, Pro Football Focus is saying, that Max Williams, remember Max Williams from last season? He's the number 3 tight end on the depth chart right now. But he was pretty entertaining to watch before he got that horrendous knee injury. And they're saying that Max Williams is sort of this super secret superstar on the Arizona Cardinals. I don't know how you feel about that, Keon, but that's what Pro Football Focus is saying. A secret superstar. So I thought we would take a few minutes. I'd throw some of these names out at you and see what you thought, if you agreed with this or not. And these are not necessarily offensive guys. They're not necessarily defensive guys. But they're being dubbed by Pro Football Focus as secret superstars on each team. And I will start with the Dallas Cowboys. Oddly enough, this wasn't hard. Anybody with eyes can pick this one. Running back Tony Pollard. Do you think he's a secret superstar with the Dallas Cowboys?
I think he might be a superstar. He has potential, but I don't know how much of a secret he is. It's, we've known that Ezekiel Elliott has struggled over the last couple of years to be consistent. He had that rookie season, and then, the wear and tear of the game, plus some of his own partying, has kind of taken its toll on him a little bit. And Pollard is always that guy. You need short yards. I mean, he's going to smash right through. He is a hell of a blocker at the running back position. I still think Ezekiel Elliott's the better running back, especially if we're talking about just talent. But in terms of availability and what he can give you, sometimes in games, it seems like he's the guy that has the hot hand. I agree that he is a valuable piece for the Cowboys. I just don't know how much of a secret he is. Like, he's not, a lot of people know about Tony Pollard, but still, I do agree that he does have that role on the team where he might not be your first thought when you think about the Cowboys offense, but you do have to account for him.
All right, the Indianapolis Colts, Pro Football Focus is saying cornerback Kenny Moore II, because he's allowed an average 86.6 passer rating when targeted and has been flagged for penalties only 10 times in 5 years. Moore isn't coming off his best year, but any kind of bounce back season will see him justify the selection as Indianapolis Colts super secret superstar.
I agree with that one. Yeah, he's awesome because he understands leverage, and look, he's not the corner you can put all over the field. You're not putting him on the best receiver from the other team. But when it comes to shutting down guys in the slot, he does that. He's made, his name on that. And I do think that one of the contributors to why the Colts are able to be such a good defensive unit is because kind of across the board, they have corners who are kind of underrated in the NFL. And he might be one of the more underrated guys, even on that team.
All right. The Denver Broncos are saying linebacker Josey Jewell, who played just 82 snaps last season before an injury struck, but he's been a consistently strong performer for the Broncos since the team drafted him in 2018. Do you think that Josey Jewell is a super secret superstar?
Yeah, and I guess he ends up in that secret department because we didn't really see him play. Anytime a guy is injured, we just kind of move on in the NFL without him. We just sort of act like you didn't exist for a while. And Josey is a smart player, talented player, where as a guy that can go out there and make the right decisions at the linebacker position, which is incredibly difficult these days because teams are trying to always put linebackers in conflict, when they're out there. You're trying to figure out, how do I get this tight end on this linebacker and make him choose where he's going to be covering and all of that stuff. I think that Josey Jewell is probably right there in terms of having that impact. And we did lose Randy just now, and we're hoping to get him back here as he reconnects, having a little bit of internet trouble. I'll say this, because here's another guy that's on the list that I really like. Minnesota Vikings, Cam Dantzler. Cam Dantzler is a guy that is a super secret superstar. He is one of my favorite players. Just go out there and point out that I really like to watch corners. That's one of my favorite defensive positions to watch when I'm looking out. And Cam Dantzler does everything right. He does everything correctly. First off, he's young, so that helps. But then he allows an 82.5 passer rating in coverage when he's out there. He doesn't give up a whole lot of big yards, doesn't give up a whole lot of plays. And I think that you have quarterbacks that maybe overlook Cam Dantzler, try to test that guy, and that's a mistake. And he's another reason why I'm kind of high on the Vikings this year. I really like some guys on their roster, and I just think if this new coaching staff comes in there and they're able to find a way to get those guys opportunities, I think that the Vikings can have a really, really good season. Another guy on this list, and someone I'm going to disagree with, Kadarius Toney with the New York Giants. I liked Kadarius Toney when he first came into the league out of the University of Florida. I thought Kadarius Toney had the ability to be a Tyreek Hill kind of guy, and he kind of had a disappointing first season. I think he's turning things around, but I wouldn't say that Kadarius Toney of the New York Giants is a secret superstar just yet. I think he is a secret, and he could have a breakout year, but I have some doubts about Kadarius Toney and his consistency since he's been in the league. So I kind of bounced around while you were gone.
Have you talked about Folorunso Fatukasi?
I have not. No.
I want to hear you say it.
Let me see if I can even find the name. Oh boy,
Folorunso Fatukasi.
Yeah, that looks like how you pronounce it. Am I going to test
the
it?
Defensive interior lineman. Yes. No.
Am I going to? I mean, look, I don't know that much about him in particular, but I will say that with the Jaguars, that defensive line is insane. They're going to get after quarterbacks this year. I mean, look out. If you're Matt Ryan in Indianapolis, Davis Mills with the Texans, you're going to have a tough time with these Jaguars. I mean, as much as we make fun of Carson Wentz and his meltdown against the Jaguars last year, it's not like the Colts were beating them a lot recently. And a lot of that has to do with the defense that the Jaguars have built. So yeah, Folorunso Fatukasi. Oh boy, yeah. That is that's a tough name.
I'm
gonna have
to keep our eyes on that guy.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Here's something that I want to do. I don't know how much Jeffrey's gonna want to do it, but I would like to come up with my preseason all name team.
Oh, I think you should. Yes.
Just I don't care how good you are as a football player. If your name is awesome, you're on the list. I have a feeling he's going to be hovering around here. Folorunso
Fatukasi. Yes. All right. So who else did we cover? Did we cover anybody else here?
I talked a little Cam Dantzler with the Vikings.
Okay. All right. So you covered all the ones I wanted.
And I talked to Kadarius Toney with the Giants.
888-368-1580. The Hefty Lefty says that interior lineman has got to be the new sexiest name in the NFL. I don't think so.
It is tough to top Dean Blandino. It is.
When you say Dean Blandino, it just drips sex appeal. I mean, listen to it. Dean Blandino. It does something for you, doesn't it?
Yeah, no, you can't deny it. Can't deny it.
Just saying. Mr. Wilbur also says, now I can say this with all truth. Josie and the Pussycats are superstars. You're showing your age, Mr. Wilver.
Just a little.
Showing your age. 888-368-1580. So along comes every so often comes along comes a legend so big it overshadows whatever he might be doing or whatever things he might be involved in, and so it is with the legend of Gardner Minshew II, number 10 on the Eagles. For a backup quarterback with less than 1,000 career pass attempts, Gardner Minshew has got a huge cult-like following. And I saw this on his social media because I too have fallen under the curse, or should I say blessing, of following Gardner Minshew. He put together a 4-minute Instagram sizzle reel highlighting his off-season work and his van, a van that, according to Minshew, he's been living out of since February 20th down in Florida while training. I think it's important to note February 20th is a very important date. That is my birthday. That is the day I turned 60. And that's the day that Gardner Minshew chose to start training. Minshew said he went on a 3-week road trip at the end of the season and had since been parked in Florida, grinding and picking up hippie tendencies while living out a high school dream of his, to live out of his van. Well, today, he says that he is selling his van in Philly. The former inmate transport bus has been completely rehabilitated and would be a perfect a van as a tailgater for Eagles games or semi-permanent residence, and obviously most tastefully as a love shack, baby. This baby's got 146,000 miles on it. When I took her to get service most recently, the mechanic said, in his professional opinion, and I quote, "This thing is awesome, man." End quote. It's equipped with an efficient AC unit, a cooktop, a fridge, and he's listing the unit for $25,000. But more than anything, I just want to see her in a nice and loving home. Serious inquiries only to the DMs. So there you go. Gardner Minshew is selling his van that he lived in during the offseason, and it's all set to go. It is a true tailgate warrior and ready for you to use.
Between this story and the story about Brett Favre being cheap, I just hope that everybody listening has learned something about people from the state of Mississippi.
I mean, think about it, though, Keon. Doesn't it make you just a little jealous?
Look,
Minshew living that way for a few months, just absolutely letting it go. Living out of a van on a beach somewhere in Florida.
I have seen the Instagram pictures of the shaggin' wagon. It does indeed look epic. First off, it looks really spacious in there. It does not look like the back of a van. It's not like a minivan here. This thing is a full-on room. It's got a futon. He's got a little table where he's got lava lamp set up.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's spreading himself out there playing his guitar. He's got some records up on the wall.
He took it to a mechanic to get some service done, and he says, I quote, "This thing is awesome, man."
He's got a bookshelf. He's got a dry erase board with some Chinese calligraphy on it for some reason.
Right.
This van
is epic. I know.
I think $25,000 might not be enough. I think he's underselling it.
Gardner Minshew, the legend continues. And you only hear it here on the Daily Blender. Wow. I got to tell you, I need a few minutes to shake this off. My entire body is vibrating.
And the guy plays guitar.
And he plays guitar. Hefty Lefty says, does that van also come equipped with an Amber Alert? No, it's Gardner damn Minshew. He doesn't need little girls. Good night, Hefty Lefty. Try to stay up. All right, when we come back, we've got our man of the day, and we've got some more NFL and some live tour stuff. I don't know, Charles Barkley. It's all around the corner on the Fanatic.
It's Charmin. We heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
I love my Charmin Super Mega Golden Goals last long. It's TP Goals, yeah. Charmin's got 6 rows in one. Lasts forever on my buns. Only Super Mega when I'm cleaning. Charmin's got my booty believing.
Charmin Super Mega Roll is 6 regular rolls in one. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month. A savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop, you save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. You know, the Lund Mortgage Team has been doing their thing for over 2 decades in the Valley, helping thousands of people in Arizona save money on their loans, get the best rate. They're mortgage brokers. They can shop it around for you. And now more than ever, it is so important to have a mortgage professional that's been around, that's seen the high rates, low rates, everything in between, because look, there's no sugarcoating what's going on right now. The rates are higher. However, the supply and demand, the whole how many houses are for sale in Arizona and what's going on, it's gone in favor of the buyer now. So if you're going to buy a new home, it is important to go and get that rate. Whatever that rate is, it's not going to be your forever rate. That's important to think about. So lock it in, get the house of your dreams, and move on. But let the people at the Lund Mortgage Team do their job. All the heavy lifting from start to finish. They'll find you the best rate out there. Call 623-875-9940, 623-875-9940, or online, lundmortgage.com.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM.
And K2.2 Rolling Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down. Because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime. When does it start? Right now. 3, 2, 1. Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
And welcome to hour number 3 of 3 for the Daily Blender on this Wednesday, Whiskey Wednesday, July 27th. My name is Randy White. Right over there, that's Keon Rose, the sexiest man in Sports Talk Radio. Jeffrey O'Brien, he's on vacation. Be back tomorrow as we broadcast live from the Harman Solar Studios in beautiful uptown Scottsdale at the Harman Solar Mega Studio Complex. This hour, as you text in on the text line at 888-368-15 hour at 1580. 15 hour. What? A lot of stuff. I want to start off with some Live Tour stuff because they made an announcement today. They made an announcement. They're not even 3 events into this first season, and Live Tour has released its 2023 schedule. The Live Golf Invitational Series will become the Live Golf League, a 14-event series of events featuring 12 4-player teams competing on both individual and team levels. While the Breakaway Tour did not announce specific dates, tournaments would be cited in North America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and the Middle East. This week, they'll be in New Jersey at the Trump National Golf Club in Bedminster. The Saudi government's public investment fund bankrolls Live Golf, and critics have accused Live and its players of sports washing, the process of using sports and other leisure pursuits to cover up Saudi Arabia's human rights violations. To which I would agree. The new schedule will not compete with majors, international team events, or heritage events, according to a Live statement. So the best players in the game will always be able to make their own choices about where to play. That would, in theory, bring Ryder Cup and events such as the Memorial and the Arnold Palmer Invitational back into play, assuming Live players were allowed to play in those events, which at the moment they are not, according to the PGA Tour.
I do think that's a smart move by the Live Tour.
Don't you think, though, this is a public relations thing, though, for Live? Because PGA is being so staunch, and the Live is gaining some traction with a lot of guys are going to the Live Tour. And don't you think this is Live kind of being, that's like a PR thing?
It's a PR thing a little bit, but I think it's just in their best interest to do this. If you keep your tournaments so that they don't overlap with any major PGA events, then if the PGA were to soften their stance on, players that have gone on to the Live Tour and say the PGA goes, okay, you know what? We'd love to have all of these guys over here, making us money too, and they can go back and forth. Well, then that just helps the Live Tour because more golfers are not going to be afraid to go over and take the money because you can do both. And I think a lot of where the drama is around the Live Tour is that because the PGA has put their foot down so hard and said you cannot do both, we're talking about this probably more than we normally would, because when a guy goes to the Live Tour, as of this moment, you're done in the PGA. You're not going back. But by keeping the door open, they're allowing the PGA to maybe walk it back a little bit if they want. And that means that more golfers may end up going to the Live Tour in the long run.
I think this is a great article that explains more about the Live Tour that maybe the average person doesn't know. The Live Tour will be formalizing the team concept it used in its initial 2 events this season. 4-player teams led by a captain. The teams will be built like franchises, with captains able to sign players and monetize sponsor interests. So Dustin Johnson might be a captain, and he might bring in 3 other guys to play on his team, and then he might get Callaway. And this is all, I'm just throwing this stuff out here just to kind of make it simple. He might get Callaway to be the sponsor of his team. So it'd be Team Johnson Callaway, I'm
not going to lie. It's kind of interesting.
Another twist is the Live will have a relegation system in place for its 48 slots. Players at the top of the international series can play their way onto Live, while those at the bottom of Live would be off the circuit. Here we go. They've only got 48 slots on the teams. They've only got 48 slots on this tour. And some of these guys from the Korn Ferry Tour, this is where they're going to run into problems. Remember, I told you it was coming.
Mm-hmm.
And now what are some of these guys going to do? I would be so interested to hear what Radio Ron's got to say about this. Because I've talked to a couple of guys, and they're just like, it's like career suicide if you leave and you're not on the PGA Tour, because now you've dug yourself a grave and you're done. Especially when you don't make it on the Live Tour.
I am looking at this Live Tour schedule, and I see one problem already. They got their first 3 tournaments: the Centurion Club, Pumpkin Ridge, Trump National Golf Club, and Bedminster. Those are fine. The 4 through 8, though, that's football season. This half of the schedule, more than half, is taking place during college football season and the NFL. That's who you're competing with. I don't think that's a good idea.
PGA's got a year-round schedule.
They do, but the majors are not
Correct.
where the football season is.
The
These
majors are all in the summertime when it's opposing, anything like that. It's outside of like the NBA playoffs and things like that.
Well, this right now we only have 8 tournaments in the Live, and
right now, yeah,
as of right now, and 5 of them are in football season. Is anybody going to watch this?
I don't know. Speaking of watching the Live Tour, this is what they're going to do. They have approached Charles Barkley to come out and be a name broadcasting for the Live Golf.
What took them so long? He was asking for it for a week or two.
Barkley recently told the New York Post that he had dinner with the Live Golf CEO Greg Norman to possibly discuss a broadcasting role with the Saudi-backed tour. In a perfect scenario, I'd love to do both. I don't know how Turner sponsors are going to feel about it. I know there's going to be some blowback. But I've seen some reports, and I cannot confirm this, so I don't want to report it, but I've seen some reports that's tens of millions of dollars that Charles Barkley has asked to be a broadcaster. Now, what the hell? Is this brilliance?
I don't know. I don't know if it's brilliant, but I know that Charles saw that that's where the money was. So the Chuckster went over.
Chuck says, we've all taken blood money and we all have sports washed something. So I don't like those words, to be honest with you. Well, sorry, Chuck. Sorry. Sorry you don't like those words. That's what you're going to hear.
Charles, we haven't all taken blood money.
I haven't taken blood money that I know of.
I would say 99% of people just walking around on the planet Earth have not knowingly taken blood money.
Well, and besides that, there's another broadcaster who has confirmed that he is taking a job with the Live Tour. David Faraday is leaving NBC and the Golf Channel to take an announcer job with Live Golf Invitational Series. See, now they're starting to get serious. Now you're picking off guys in the broadcast medium that will attract viewers.
Because Faraday's good.
Well, and when you think David Faraday, you think golf.
Yeah.
When I think Charles Barkley, I don't think golf. But it's not up to me. But David Faraday is leaving NBC Sports.
Charles Barkley is
and he's moving on.
Is there for just entertainment value. Like I have a lot of friends that aren't big NBA fans. They watch Inside the NBA on TNT because of Chuck, So I think that's what they're hoping for, and then you pull a legitimate golf broadcaster into this and somebody with as much and as rich a reputation as David Faraday. Boy, that's going to be interesting.
I wonder who else is going to fall. Oh, by the way, Bubba Watson, he's leaving the PGA for the Saudi-backed Live Tour.
I'm kind of surprised that didn't happen already. Because Bubba doesn't care.
Because Bubba's about the money. And Ricky Fowler, there's been some speculation he's going to. There's also been some speculation that the Open Championship, Cam Smith, the Aussie, speculation he's going to. What's PGA going to do, man?
That's what I'm thinking. And part of the reason why I think it's smart for the Live Tour to, again, not contradict any PGA events. Because the more guys that go over, the more that pressures the PGA to kind of back off a little bit so you can have access to those players. Because the only one telling them that they can't come back is you. And by you, I mean the PGA. The only ones telling them they can't come back is the PGA. So by making nice, I think, a little bit, I think this is what the Live Tour is doing, not contradicting any of those majors. You're allowing the PGA to at least keep their pride in the event that they have to walk this back and say, okay, you know what? We do want these guys back on tour so we can have quality golf events.
Well, I mean, the big argument here is the PGA Tour these guys that left the PGA Tour, they were not employees. So really, the PGA is going to have a hard time winning a lawsuit, levied by the players against them, saying that they have to let them play because they're independent contractors. But I don't know. My thing is, look, these guys are here to stay, and they're starting to make it real. Tiger and Rory said at the Open Championship, what motivation do these guys have to practice? They just go out there and collect a paycheck. Well, guess what? Live Tour has said 48 slots. If you're not one of the top 48 golfers on this tour, bye.
Or you struggle and fight like hell to get back on it.
So a lot of these guys that jump ship so quick. Well, one guy that jumps ship pretty quick, Sergio Garcia. He says, wait a minute. I'm not going to resign my DP World Tour membership right now. After shooting tied for 68 at the Open Championship at St. Andrews, he was just about ready to resign his membership from the DP World Tour, which would make him ineligible for the 2023 Ryder Cup in Italy. A couple weeks later, Sergio's changed his mind. But thanks to the things that John Rahm said, I had a couple of good conversations with the guys on the DP World Tour. I'm going to hold off on that. I want to at least see what's happening when the Ryder Cup qualification starts. See what kind of rules and eligibilities they have in there, I won the Masters, If I agree with what they're doing, I'll definitely keep playing, whatever I can on the tour, try to qualify for the Ryder Cup team, And if not, then we'll move on. But it's definitely something that's on my mind. Sergio is like, it's on again, off again, on again, off again.
This is what the PGA has as an advantage, though. And well, not just the PGA, all the other cups that are out there, all the other tours that are out there. They have the Ryder Cup, they have the Masters, they have the US Open, the Open Championship. They still have the tournaments that people care the most about. And that's their leverage.
The PGA is going to have to do something to work together. They're losing too many people here.
Yeah.
They're losing too many guys.
And their move to try and increase the size of these purses might be too little too late.
So the Live Tour, with this announcement, it kind of runs in the face of what some of the golfers have been saying, that they play less because they don't play 72 holes. They play 56 holes. They play 3 rounds. They don't play 4. And it gives them the opportunity to spend more time at home. Well, guess what? You're going to be hopping all over the United States and all over the world, because it's going to be Middle East, Asia, Australia, United States. And it's probably just going to grow from there. We'll have to keep you up to date on the Live Tour as it progresses down the road here on the Daily Blender. Yeah, Sergio rethinking it. That was pretty funny.
You know what? I'm playing some good golf. Let me see if I can make the Ryder Cup first before I destroy it and burn that bridge. Let me give that a shot.
Hey, before I get too mad at these guys.
Burn a bridge forever that I can't repair.
Before I throw meat at them and, and wine and stuff and call them losers, perhaps maybe I should think about it. 888-368-1580. Still looking for the text of the day to get you signed up and qualified for a chance to win that $100 gift certificate from Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. And believe you me, you're going to want to get in on this if you can do it. I hesitate doing this, but it's news, and I feel like I should. The United States late this afternoon has offered to exchange Victor Bout, a convicted Russian arms trafficker, as part of a potential deal with Russia to release WNBA star Brittany Griner and corporate security director Paul Whelan. This according to CNN. President Joe Biden reportedly supports the move, even though the Department of Justice is generally against prisoner trades. So instead of trying to ride this out a little bit, and I know I'm going to get burned up either way. So I'm just going to give you my thoughts, and please hear my heart. Instead of writing us up, we're going to give away a very dangerous man to get Brittany Griner back. Do we feel that much pressure as the United States to do this, Keon?
See, and that's where it gets complicated. I don't know, but I do think, and again, her stature as a professional athlete, I think, makes this a story that everyone is watching and everyone in the world is watching. And I don't know which is the worst look. Honestly, I don't know if it's a worse look to release somebody that, quite frankly, that should never be outside of a jail, or if you leave Brittany Griner there because of her status. It's not like there aren't other prisoners of war being held in Russia and other places, but because of what it looks like, it may look to others like we're just letting her rot there. And I don't know which look is worse. That's the reason why I'm not in politics. I just don't. I honestly don't know.
And I'm not there, and I don't know the conditions, but it doesn't look like, from what I've seen, that she's in bad shape. And for us to release a very dangerous man to get Brittany Griner back, I think it makes us look very, very weak. And what's going to happen now? Who else is going to be now at risk because of this?
And that I don't know, and I balk at it a little bit, because I think that it's one of those things where the time is still on your side. Your ultimate goal, because that she's accused of something that, if they find her guilty, should she be found guilty, she's there for 10 years. So I think your goal should be, okay, maybe, but hear me out here, because I think that if you get her less than 10, I think that's a win. And I don't think you necessarily have to rush to bring her back at the expense of letting somebody like that go, because if she's there for 2 years, look, that's not fun, that's not good, and I want her to be back and safe and happy with her family as much as anybody. But if she's there for 2 years instead of 10, that's still a win. And I think they're kind of rushing a little bit, because they're looking at this from a PR standpoint internationally, and making a move of, we don't want to look like we forget about our people. But I don't know. I think that you got to draw the line at that guy. I do. And it's not just her that's being traded for in this, but still, because of what we know, this person's nickname is the damn Merchant of Death or whatever. Like, I just, I don't think you need to rush it. I think you can still negotiate and say, not him. Pick somebody else.
Joe, the show, I don't know if you're being serious here or not. I mean, honestly, I think it's a win, because they of course get a dangerous comrade back, but we get a Patriot spy plus Brittany Griner. So it's not that bad negotiation wise. It's really a win for us. I don't see it as a win. I'm sorry. I don't know that this guy, this corporate security guy, is a spy. I don't know anything about this guy. And I don't see that Brittany Griner's in any danger right now. And the Russian government has to take care of her. They can't, there has to be certain things offered her and given to her. And we're just going to release a dangerous man. I don't think it's a win at all. I think it's a loss. It's not a loss for us. It's a loss for the entire world. Rob Diz, what they're actually trying to cancel players that played that were from Russia. Just saying. What they're actually trying to cancel players that played. I don't get it. Sorry, Rob Diz. Anyway. All right, we got to take a break. We're really late. Your thoughts on the text line, 888-368-1580. Mike Trout has an injury, and we'll give you an update. It doesn't look good. What does this mean for one of the best players in the game? We'll talk about it around the corner here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update for Arizona's new home for sports, The Fanatic. Now, here are the latest lines from my guys in the desert.
Patrick Cantlay, the favorite at the Rocket Mortgage Classic underway this week. Cantlay at plus 1,000. 3M Open champion Tony Finau at plus 1,400, along with Will Zalatoris. Cameron Young at plus 1,600. UFC 277 set for Saturday in Dallas. The main event, the highly anticipated rematch between Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena for the women's bantamweight championship. Nunes a minus 275 favorite. Pena plus 230. For the interim flyweight championship, Brandon Moreno minus 220 against Kai Kara France at plus 175. Red hot winning picks at experts.winnersandwiners.com. Save 75% on any best bet package with the promo code ACTION75. That's ACTION75 at experts.winnersandwiners.com. For vsin.com, I'm Trey Westerberg on Arizona's sports betting station.
Hey guys, the Royal Management Team has gathered you here in Yield Conference Room to announce that thanks to all your hard work, the Granary has enjoyed record profits this year. Nice. That said, there still isn't room in the budget for raises, but we will be providing gift cards to Grimwald's Tavern. Really? I'm sorry, I've been informed they are actually coupons, not gift cards.
Throughout history, people have always been underpaid. That's why Monster lets you search jobs by salary. Find your job at monster.com or download the app.
Hey, Jim! Thanks for coming.
Are you kidding? I never miss one of your dinner parties. How's the new job?
Somehow we're doing great, and I stopped working weekends, thanks to how smooth everything runs on NetSuite by Oracle.
Fantastic. We're still using QuickBooks.
Why haven't you upgraded to NetSuite?
We're making QuickBooks work, sort of.
Watch your language. The kids are right there. Sorry, Amy. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, budgeting, and more. NetSuite is everything you need to grow, all in one place. And 93% of surveyed businesses increase their visibility and control since upgrading from QuickBooks to NetSuite.
Yeah, sounds like it's time for me to switch to NetSuite. Over 31,000 businesses already use NetSuite. And for a limited time, NetSuite has extended their one-of-a-kind financing program offer to those ready to upgrade at netsuite.com/radar. Head to netsuite.com/radar for this extended special financing offer on the #1 financial system for growing businesses. netsuite.com/radar.
Christmas in July is back at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. For this month only, get a $20 bonus card for every $100 gift card you purchase. When it comes to Asian cuisine, no one does it better and more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create food, fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's not just dinner, it's dinnertainment. Enjoy a memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire and offered daily with specials on teppanyaki, sushi, and signature cocktails. Now through July, get your $100 gift card and $20 bonus card. Visit KasaiScottsdale.com. That's KASAI Scottsdale.com or call 480-607-1114. Christmas in July is back at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale.
Jim Rome lives here.
It's a lame take to say that this is the dead time of sports and that there's nothing to talk about. It's not 1965. There's lots to talk about. In fact, I think it's actually one of the funnier times of the year because looking around and laughing at all the manufactured tripe that people are talking about, that's become a sport unto itself.
Jim Rome and the Jungle.
Weekdays, mid-mornings on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender for this Wednesday on 888-368-1580 is the way you get into the show. Random Texter says, growing up, I always understood the United States doesn't negotiate. Is that no longer the case? I think in this certain situation, it is.
I think, well, you know, it's not like a hard and fast rule. It's not like the U.S. has never negotiated, before. It's just this particular person who is on the table, to be released is like one of the worst people on the planet. That's where it gets to be rough for me. I don't know much about the Paul Whelan guy. who they're also trying to go for. You know, I know I read a little bit during the break. He was a Marine at one point and things of that nature. But boy, can you release anybody else?
You know, Kyle G, I wouldn't give a box of hamburger helper to Putin, let alone a world-class criminal. There's other ways to get Griner back, including, I don't know, a couple of airstrikes on Russian units in Ukraine, or perhaps a SEAL or two to pull her out of her cell. I mean, there's that.
There's that, but boy, you could escalate this situation much worse. I just don't, and I know this is going to sound counterintuitive. I just don't think that there's that big of a rush, because I think if you play the long game, she is accused of something that's going to have her there for 10 years.
Allegedly, maybe.
Well, the maximum sentence, I'm saying
10 years.
If that's what they give her. And the Paul Whelan dude, like his sentence is 16 years. So I understand. I understand feeling that pressure, but because the sentence is 10 years or 16, you have time. You don't need, this doesn't need to be a 3-month turnaround. You know what I mean?
No, it doesn't. And that's why I say this is, I don't know that this was the most, I don't think this was the best thing to happen. Let's move on along now. Angels outfielder Mike Trout. I don't think anybody would argue that he is clearly one of the best players in the major leagues, has been for a little time. Hasn't played a game since July 12th because of what originally was diagnosed as back spasms. Found out that he's got a costovertebral dysfunction at T5. Okay, so that's in the spine. So they gave him a shot, and the situation is that this is something that's ongoing. I mean, think of the how many swings has Mike Trout made with a bat that's put that kind of torque on your spine? How many times has he dove for a ball or run up against a fence, sacrificing his body to catch a ball, or dived into a base, or slid, or have different collisions on a ball field? I mean, that happens from time to time. And so now this could be an ongoing thing. And the Angels will reevaluate Trout once his body has had more time to benefit from the cortisone shot he received last week. It's worth noting that the team told Fletcher that this will be a condition the Angels and Trout will likely have to monitor for the rest of his career.
That stinks.
The doctor that treated him says this is something that he's going to have to keep an eye on the rest of his career, and for Mr. Trout, the rest of his life.
I mean, you hate to see something like that for a guy that plays the game as well and as passionately as Mike Trout does. And I also feel worse that he never really got to be on a team that contended. For how good he is, the Angels never put together an actually competitive ball club. They spent tons of money, but I don't know what their plan is when they sign these guys, but they sign big names, and it never seems to add up to a baseball team that can compete in October.
Yeah, now they're talking. There's just buzz going on, rumors going on. I see a lot of rumors going on about maybe the team should trade Shohei Ohtani. Imagine the kind of season he's having. Imagine if the Yankees get a Shohei Ohtani.
I would like to not think about that.
Imagine if the Dodgers get a Shohei Ohtani. Imagine if the Mets get a Shohei Ohtani.
It's you basically just went down the list of the 3 teams I don't want to see get any better, much less get Shohei Ohtani.
What are those
I know it's the 3, but I hate them all so much. I'm pretty sure you just went in reverse order too of who I hate the most. I cannot stand the Mets.
Thoughts and prayers out to Mike Trout, hoping that he gets better. It's a better game with Mike Trout playing. We'll have to wait and see. Mike's 31 now. He's hit 270 with 24 home runs in 79 games this year. He was having a pretty good season. Not a usual Mike Trout season, but he was having a pretty good season. And we'll see what happens at the trade deadline if they choose to move Shohei Ohtani. I can't see the team doing that. I'm sorry. You give away Shohei Ohtani?
I mean, even if you're not competitive, the value of just the spectacle of what Shohei Ohtani can do it sells tickets. I find that very hard to believe.
Nostra Marcus says, imagine Shohei Ohtani in a D-backs uniform. We can't afford him. I mean, it'd be wonderful.
Yeah, I would like that. That'd be good.
That'd be great. Hefty Lefty says the only plan that Morano has as an owner is make moves to put his butts in his seats. He sees big names and butts in seats. Too bad he doesn't realize that most butts in seats at the Halos were back in the early 2000s when the team was winning. I think he realizes that. I think he was around then.
But
he realizes that. I think
he realizes that, but it still doesn't change the fact that the team hasn't been any good. 12 years of Mike Trout. 12 years. They weren't competitive ever.
It's not like they haven't tried. Okay, they brought in Shohei Ohtani. They've had Trout. They brought in what's his name from the Nationals, the third baseman, but he's been
Anthony
injured.
Rendon. Yeah, that hasn't worked out.
They brought in Thor from the Mets. They thought, and he hasn't worked out this year. So is it really Marino's fault?
It's not completely his fault.
I mean, he's dropped some money into the team. He's tried to make the team good again.
I just think that they've made some dumb decisions too with how to spend their money and how to build a roster and put it together. It's a combination of bad luck and horrible decision making.
Big George says, I think I have a fair trade. Madison Bumgarner and Ketel Marte to the Angels for Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani for the stretch run. Let's do it, Mike Hazen. No. No, Big George.
If Mike Hazen could pull that off, I mean, well, first off, this team would be better. But if he could pull that off, I would never say anything about Mike Hazen ever again. No negative words about him would ever leave my lips.
Okay, so we'll be keeping you up to date on that. Some other trade deadline happenings. D-backs, I think, are going to be sellers, and I think we would be stupid not to be sellers and try to move somebody we can get some great resources for, like a David Peralta, perhaps even a Christian Walker. Christian Walker's hitting home runs, yeah, oh goody, but every other time strikes out. And I already told you my plan on Madison Bumgarner. Put him in the bullpen. Now you have a legitimate closer, or you've got a legitimate setup guy to get it to your closer, whoever that might be. But you gotta roll some of these guys out of here and get some resources in here to help this team get better, man. This team is not good right now. They're on the verge of being good. You've got, some bright spots. You've got some youngsters in the farm league that's going to help this team be good. What about the Braves? Buyers or sellers at the deadline? What do you think, Keon?
Got to be buyers, right? I mean, the way things are going in that division, boy, they could win the pennant there again. And once you're in the playoffs, I mean, I think the Braves learned this. They actually had one of the worst records of teams that made the playoffs last year. But once you're in, you can go on a run. Anything can happen. So I don't see why you wouldn't start being in the position of trying to get better and improve and buy, knowing that you're the defending world champions, you're in a weaker division than most, and you're the best team in that division.
Mm-hmm. What about the Boston Red Sox? Lately, they've just looked horrible. They have looked absolutely abhorred. Do you think that they're a buyer or seller? I think what they need to do at this time is they need to look at the overall, assess the team, take an overall 30,000-foot view of the team and say, what do we have here? And what can we keep and what can we make good? I have a feeling this team is going to go through a managerial change in the offseason. You're going to see them work in the free agency. They've been embarrassed for 3 seasons in a row now in the American League East. And that ownership group in Boston and the fans there in Boston are not going to take that. So I see them. I don't see them as a buyer or a seller. I think they'll probably stand pat and reassess after the season.
Yeah, because they don't have a bad team. That they have some guys who can play. I mean,
they got a team that doesn't play well together.
And I think part of that too is just that division. I mean, the Rays are really damn good. Obviously, the Yankees are on top of that division. The Blue Jays are floundering, but like they're a talented squad. You're just in a division that is brutal, on top of the fact that, yeah, you have some cohesion issues, but you're playing in a tough division. So can you get good enough in the next season to catch up to the Yankees and the Rays and the Blue Jays? If not, I would probably sell.
I got to tell you right now, Chicago White Sox have got to be sellers. They've got to be sellers, or they need to stand pat. And in the offseason, for the love of God, get rid of Tony La Russa.
I cannot think of a worse fit in terms of the players on that roster, how young they are. La Russa's an old school guy, almost his detriment at this point, because he has no ability to update his process to what the game is right now.
I don't think there's a problem with being an old school guy and having some wisdom, but I think there's a problem when you're so staunch and stubborn and you're as old as Tony La Russa and you're not on top of the game. You're not ahead of the game. Major League Baseball, you gotta be ahead of the game, man. You can't be sitting there like you used to do back in the 70s and look out at what's happening on the field right now. You've got to be ahead of the game.
I'm not knocking a guy for being old school, but I do think that, on a scale of you're really old school in one direction and on the other direction, your computer basically coaches your team, that you got to find a middle. And I think Tony is too far in the old school direction. And he's just got to come back a little bit, like just enough to where he's making the kinds of decisions that, 15 years ago, 20 years ago with Tony La Russa, you're basically looking at a guy who was able to make cutting edge decisions in baseball back then. He doesn't have that right now.
Hefty Lefty on the text line, 888-368-1580 says Max Scherzer might as well be called Toro because he's absolutely mowing down the Yankees right now. Wow.
I do not look.
Hey, Derek Hall, do you hear that? Derek Hall? Hey, Derek Hall, do you hear that? What Max Scherzer's doing in the Bronx or in Queens tonight? Hear what he's doing? 888-368-1580. Got to take a break. When we come back, I know. When we come back, it's on the state of Big Georgia sports history. More of your text. Still looking for the text of the day. Could it be you? Will you be entered in our drawing for that $100 Kasai Steakhouse, Japanese Steakhouse gift card? That's around the corner on the Daily Blender here in 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
All right, where are we going for breakfast? I kind of want a breakfast quesadilla. Oh, I didn't know they were doing quesadillas for breakfast these days.
Well, Taco Bell is.
Wow, I had no idea.
Yeah, they have this Bell breakfast box now that comes with this breakfast quesadilla that's super cheesy and a hash brown.
Okay, I wish I knew about this earlier.
And it has Cinnabon Delights and a coffee in it.
Why did I not know about this earlier?
Try the new $5 Bell Breakfast Box, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations during breakfast hours only, 7 to 11 a.m. for a limited time. Contact local store for prices and participation with share. Tax extra. Drinks exclude freezes.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-452-5050. That's 1-800-452-5050.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Hey guys, it's Stephen McCollum from the main event here on 1580 The Fanatic. And if you haven't heard, the show is now noon to 2 p.m., Monday through Friday. NFL training camps are underway. We'll get you the latest from the Cardinals and around the league. Major League Baseball trade deadline is coming quickly. What do the Diamondbacks do? And we'll keep an eye on their games. So join me, Stephen McCollum, on the main event, Monday through Friday, noon to 2 p.m. here on 99.3 and 1580 The Fanatic.
With our newest unlimited plan, everyone's welcome. Introducing Welcome Unlimited from Verizon for just $30 a line per month for 4 lines with autopay plus taxes and fees. Our best priced unlimited plan ever.
Did he say $30?
Yep, $30 a line for the whole family. The network you want, the price you love. Switch to Verizon today. Paper-free billing required. Unlimited 5G nationwide 4G LTE. In times of congestion, your data may be temporarily slower than other traffic. All smartphone lines on the account must be on Welcome Unlimited and are eligible only for select promotions. Includes domestic talk, text, and data usage only. Data roaming at 2G speeds.
Download the Fanatic app. News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store, and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Daily Blender as we head for the finish line on this Whiskey Wednesday here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. My name is Randy White. That's Keon Rose, sexiest man in sports talk radio. Jeffrey O'Brien back tomorrow at 3 o'clock over most of these same radio stations. Of course, still looking for your text of the day. Going to have to go through it and see. We had a few of them today that we'll have to put in the running. We'll have to see what we've got there. But first, on the text line at 888-368-1580. Good Cat. Hey, Good Cat. How you doing? Says, sorry to change the subject. And if this has already been mentioned already, I'm sorry. I read an article about this 4-hour-a-week game studying, and the author calls out the team on this, saying that they are admitting that Smurf Murray is not dedicated to the team or his career, and they're okay with this. Okay, caution number one. I have seen many of these same articles out there today. I've seen everything from the team is making poor little Kyler look bad, and Kyler deserves it, and this is a racist NFL thing. You know, I've seen the whole gambit today. But it comes back to this. You have a team that is holding Kyler Murray accountable. The guy goes in a newspaper in New York City in an interview. And we had the quote yesterday on the air. Keon read the quote on the air, and he considers himself bigger than the game. He doesn't have to break down tape because he can see things in his mind's eye, I guess is what he means. I don't know. Speculation.
Yeah, I think so, because his exact words were, I have great cognitive abilities. Those are his words.
So this is a guy clearly that has not been challenged in football before now. And the Cardinals have probably had an issue with him taking time to study tape because they probably heard him say the same thing to them. Oh, man, come on. I don't have to break down tape. I know what I'm doing. And Mr. Bidwell goes, well, I'm paying you $200 million, so guess what? We're going to do it my way. And I don't think it's unreasonable for an NFL quarterback making $250 million to have to spend 4 hours a week during the season on game week breaking down tape on the other team.
I agree. I just think that that's not unreasonable for the team to ask. I don't think it's unreasonable for the team to want their investment, their $250 million investment, to actually pan out. And there's a way that you can make sure that happens. You can make sure that guy is in the playbook studying, because here's the thing. If you think that you see the game in this super special way, you don't have to watch film. What the hell are you saying about Peyton Manning? What are you saying about Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees? Those guys have rings. And you're saying Kyler Murray, you said it, on the Instagram, your agent said it, you said it again at the press conference after you got paid. You want to bring a championship to Arizona. You want to bring a championship to the Valley. Well, guess what? Without question, you go back through the guys that have won Super Bowls They don't have to struggle to watch film. They watch film. Pat Mahomes watches film. I promise. You know, like I was worried about this with Trevor Lawrence, actually, because Trevor is another guy who has never failed in football in his life. And last year he got his butt kicked, and I think that's the best thing that could have happened to him.
Oh, absolutely. A good cat goes on and says, I agree they're holding him accountable. It is ridiculous that this clause needs to be added. Why is the team allowing it or allowed it? To me, it's sad that they had to do it. Well, sad or not, the bottom line is the team is stating something here. The team is saying something to Kyler Murray. They're communicating with Kyler Murray. No one's bigger than the game. Nobody. And we have expectations on you to do your job. You don't just get $250 million and just roam around here, you know, thinking you're all that. Everybody has a job to do. You know, in the immortal words of Bill Belichick, do your job. Nobody's bigger than the team. Nobody is bigger than the game. And whether they had to put it in there or not it's regardless of what their motive was, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just glad it's in there.
And we mentioned this earlier in the show. I don't think that the team is trying to do this to slight Kyler. They know he's good. You know, I've seen people question today, because not unlike you, Randy, I too have read the entire gambit of articles that are out there. Yeah. And I've seen people say, well, the Cardinals did this to embarrass Kyler and to make him look bad. No, I think that the team believes in Kyler. That's why they paid him. But I think that they also think that he can be better, that his ceiling can even be higher if he does a lot of the things that great quarterbacks have to do in this league. And if he won't decide to do it, well, then you put it in the contract.
This has got to be text of the day right here.
Here we go.
Hefty Lefty says, I think the best thing for Kyler and the coaching staff right now is to take a night away from the field, have a nice dinner where they can be dinnertained at a by highly trained chefs and fed authentic Japanese cuisine. The Onion Volcano is always a hit with adults and kids alike. Perfect for Kyler and Papa Steve Kahn. Oh my God. There's your damn text of the day right there. The Hefty Damn Lefty. Right there it is. Text of the day. You're now entered in to win yourself a Kasai Japanese Steakhouse $100 gift certificate. Card. Nostramarcus says the homework clause in Kyler's contract is a bad look, but I'd much rather have the contract the Cardinals gave Kyler than the fully guaranteed contract the Browns gave Watson, the master of masseuse abuse. I don't think it's a bad look. It's a bad look if it's a bad look, it's a bad look because Kyler made it a bad look.
I just don't understand what the issue is, because and this is why I cannot stand the talking heads on TV sometimes, because these are the same people who will tell you got to have a great quarterback to win a Super Bowl. This is something we can all agree on. We can also agree Kyler's one of those quarterbacks. But if the Cardinals didn't re-sign him, people would be talking right now about how stupid the Cardinals are, and they had a quarterback, and look at what this guy's done, and look at the numbers he's produced, and he's got them to the playoffs for the first time in God knows how long. Sure, they collapsed, but they got there. These are the same people that would be calling this organization dumb if they let him walk. They found a way to keep him and get the best out of him.
You know, the thing that's funny to me, Keon, is Kyler didn't balk at it. You didn't hear any crying. You didn't hear any whining. Oh, woe is me. Oh, I'm embarrassed. Look, they hurt my little feelings. You know what he did? He grabbed a pen and he signed it. And like a man, he says, I can own up to this. Like a man, I can take this. I want to be better. So I'll sign this contract. I haven't heard anything from Kyler Murray to the contrary, other than he's thankful to be here. He's glad that he re-signed the contract. He's glad the Cardinals paid him the money, and he wants to bring a championship here. That's what I keep hearing Kyler Murray say. And I guess we'll see, beginning, in late August, early September, when they start, playing for real. We'll see how this team fares out. And it's only going to help Kyler Murray. It's not going to hurt him. It's not designed to hurt him or embarrass him.
If he goes in there and he starts watching the film and he sees the results of watching the film, He might watch film for more than 4 hours a week.
How huge is that? Better take care of this real quick. On this date in Big George's sports history, back in the year 1988, Tommy John became the first pitcher in Major League Baseball history to commit 3 errors on one play when he, number one, bobbled Jeffrey Leonard's ground ball. I hate it when that happens. And then, in an effort to recover, he, number two, threw the ball down the right field line that Dave Winfield retrieved and fired to home plate, which the Yankee left-hander cut off. And number three, relayed the throw wildly to the plate to allow 2 more runs to score. Well, I mean, we all have bad days, Big George. I mean, look, Tommy John became so infamous for this play, they named a surgery, a pitcher's elbow surgery after him. It's because of that play, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure it's because of that play. All right, we got a few minutes here. I want to tell you our man of the day. I didn't get to this earlier, but I'm pretty sure this is Boogie. So, Boogie, if you're listening, we're going to Detroit for our man of the day. In Wexford County, Michigan, a 46-year-old man was taken into custody after getting naked, dancing, and doing push-ups while holding a gun in the middle of a Michigan highway, according to police. Officials in Wexford County said they received multiple calls July 19th about a naked man dancing with a handgun on southbound US 131 near mile marker 187. I'm pretty damn sure that was Boogie. Witnesses told police that the man was dancing and doing push-ups. He was in possession of a 9mm handgun, according to authorities.
Which I'm guessing he did not put down to do the push-ups. Just a hunch.
Michigan State Police Sergeant and a Wexford County deputy took the man into protective custody, they said. He was taken to Munson Hospital Cadillac for an evaluation. I'll say he was. Wow. Boogie, was that you? Come on, Boogie. Come on, Boogie. Oh, boy. All right. Tomorrow, Jeffrey comes back. We have a new text of the day. So tomorrow we'll try it again, or Jeffrey will change it. I don't know. But listen, Swave Dave, Hefty Lefty, you are in the drawing for the $100 Kasai Japanese Steakhouse drawing that's coming up Friday. $100 gift card, absolutely free from your friends at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse and us here at 1580 The Fanatic. Hefty Lefty says Dan Campbell's off-season workouts are getting a tad out of hand. Is that what you're saying? That was it.
Dan Campbell.
Or maybe that was Dan Campbell.
Maybe
I think it was Boogie.
It could have been Boogie. He could be diverting attention from us. However, I could point out that Dan Campbell, that's kneecap level.
Big George says, oh, yeah, that was definitely Boogie. Boogie likes to rock around naked in Wexford County. How do you know that, Big George?
I do think I think 4th of July, it was Boogie that led the charge to go streaking. I do recall that.
I do recall. Kiss the Cook says, I think I have in mind where he held that gun while he was doing his push-ups. Hey-oh. Hey-oh now. Hey-oh now. Yeah, I don't know. This time of year, it's a little moist back there, if you know what I mean. I don't think he could fit it in there. Hey-oh.
Oh my God.
All right, so
it's only
Boogie,
Wednesday.
Boogie, yeah. Yesterday, by the way, did I get to finish my story on why Bruce Pearl says you don't fart in the Dead Sea?
Yeah, there's like a suction thing that goes on.
Yeah, suction. Oh, by the way, Jerry, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones, you know, mm-hmm. Well, he's upset small people of the world, and he apologized earlier today. I made a reference which I understand may have been viewed as offensive. I apologize.
I feel like that's not even close to the worst thing that Jerry Jones has ever done. But
Jones was paying tribute to former Cowboys director of scouting Larry Lacewell when he used what little people of America consider a derogatory slur. I heard the thing.
I'm trying to understand how those two things even connect. for him to say that. How does it come up?
I heard the thing. That's it for the Daily Blender. We'll see you tomorrow, maybe, over most of these same radio stations. Wow. Bye.
O'Reilly. When you shop O'Reilly.